and what's up, fam? Got some big news to share that unfortunately is not so good, so I'm gonna jump right into it. You're gonna watch this video and you're gonna cry. At least we can laugh at your eyes as you cry looking in the corner like a little girl in the fetal position.
Dude, that never gets old. That never gets old.
I made that. I don't even watch my own content. That one, I watch that every day. That's my affirmation.
Well,
turn up.
You made one of Pat, didn't you? Well, yeah, you did. It was the they smell nice, if I recall right.
Oh, something.
I love the way girls smell. I love how they always make sure, by and large, they shower, and they just have an amazing smell to them in general.
These never get old.
Never. They do that. That is evergreen content right there. That shit just never gets old. I crack up every time.
Dude, I have to give a giant shout out to Rule Zero Dad though, because Stedman for some reason deleted that.
Oh yeah.
And I was like so pissed that I didn't save it, and he's like, here. He uploaded it to like a private YouTube channel. He's like, there you go. I'm like, you're the man. Still to this day regret missing the Taylor Burroughs crying in her car one, because there would have been an ad for that right next.
Oh God. Hey, well, do you got one for the, Mr. Fuck You Very Much?
Oh, no, I don't have one of him yet. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So far I got Johnson. I got Emily Stowe or whatever her name is. I got the Savvy Writes Books chicks. I got Stedman, and I got Mr. Potato Head there, Tristan Tate.
Oh yeah.
Which in that one's going to be awesome when he gets his whole like arrested for prostitution and kidnapping things, and everybody's trying to distance themselves from the brand. I'm just going to play that. Yep. You guys got nothing on me. I don't care how many podcasts I was on with him.
Oh man, but yeah, you need to throw up the one with the chick, that interview that Murphy had.
And the Sydney Watson.
Yeah, where they were asking him about the cuckolding thing, and he got pissed off. Yeah, you need to make a video out of that.
I'll figure something out. That'll actually be pretty good. It sucks though. Like my goal is to find just people that are either have or are talking shit about me. So Jack has never said a bad word about me, and I feel kind of bad for dunking on him. Plus, a lot of the guests I've had on here have been friends of his, so I'm like, But I mean, it's the internet. It's like it's okay.
Yeah, it's funny thinking of that, where I wrote about, the internet never forgets. And yet there's a guy.
One of your best, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And it's a good post. But the funny thing is, there's a dude, and I forget his name right now. It's YouTube obviously was like, hey, we recommend this for you. And so I go down this rabbit hole. There's a series of videos, like 3 or 4 videos this guy did called The Internet is Dead. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and that's kind of what dragged me in. I was like, what the hell are they, what's this guy going on about? I've never heard of this dude. And he's not like a red pill content guy. He's just a dude. But he has this theory, and it's kind of a conspiracy theory type of thing. But I've seen more and more of it where it's like he's probably not wrong. Like he called.
Oh, is this the one where the internet is all bots now and there's no people on it?
Yep. That it's bots, and he talks about Google being a Potempkin village, because he was doing internet searches, like he showed it in the video where he's doing like a search on pizza. He types it into Google, and Google's like, here's 1.39 billion results. Well, he starts going through them. Turns out now there's not a billion results. There was like 529 results.
All right, now I'm kind of peaked on this one.
Yeah, and then he talks about some terms. He called it like link drift, where links kind of end up dead. And because one of his things was, when you go back to the early 2000s and even back into the late 90s, the internet, you had all these different blogs and all these different things where people were talking about whatever mattered to them. They had their thing.
Yeah.
That shit's like all gone. Okay. It's just.
GeoCities is gone? Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, but it's funny because GeoCities was kind of mentioned in it. And you're right. What was that other one? Angel Fire. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. Angel Fire. That was the you downloaded stuff off of that one, didn't you? Or was it actually site hosting too?
It was site hosting as well. You could actually set up a website as well as upload, download shit.
Now I got to log into AIM Instant Messenger. I haven't been on there in a while. Are my friends still around?
Or MIRC, you know?
Oh!
Getting real old school now.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff, it's just gone. That unless you use like the Internet Archive or the Wayback Machine or something like that, that stuff, it's just gone. And he's talking about that while these companies like Facebook and Google and all these other outfits that are around today that everybody loves and uses or loves to hate to use, you get the impression that the internet has expanded, that it's gotten bigger. The reality from his point of view is actually it's gotten smaller, because other than advertising and kind of like YouTube taking people down because of, well, we don't want to offend the advertisers, because you know, it's all about the revenue. And it's just kind of funny how little there really is. And it's kind of like what we're going to talk about here in a little bit with the mom talk thing. Okay. That's, you know, for you and me, everyone in the chat or everyone else is either like, huh? Or they're like, dude, that was so 2 weeks ago. What the fuck are you guys doing?
There was a whole trial in the way. We had to pause. We're back.
Yeah, we had to talk about pooping in the bed, you know, literal, genuine desire, okay, which most guys couldn't handle. It's like, could you handle a chick taking a dump in your bed? No, that's genuine fucking desire, okay? Most guys can't handle that kind of fucking desire. But it's the idea that, yeah, we have to take a minute and pause and have a trial and all these other things. And even you said it the other day, you were talking about, you know, everyone forgets about the mommy bloggers, you know, and that's where I was like, I might have to revise the internet never forgets to a degree, because we move from one outrage to the next outrage to the next outrage. Everyone has their 15 seconds of fame, not 15 minutes, as Andy Warhol said. It's 15 seconds. And so, you know, Jack Murphy got called out for being a cuck, and guys like you and me will remember and point it out, or like Pat Stedman will point it out and go, look, you fucks, you remember this? Do you remember this? I remember this. But most everyone else is going to be like, who's that guy that likes girls that smell? You know, because we've been programmed and conditioned to forget that shit, because you have to go on to the next latest and greatest. And that's why the internet is confrontational, like of the platform itself, how Twitter is geared to fight instead of...
It's because you guys have the memory of a goldfish and the attention span of a brick.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I'm not calling Rob an asshole and bringing up some cuck article, and you don't give a shit.
Exactly. You guys are all Dory.
Speaking of which, that reminds me. So I was like, I was doing research for this, and then, you know, typical internet, let's go down memory lane. I looked up upstream Twitter. Oh, that was why. The No More Mr. Nice Guy subreddit, where a good friend of mine, who's also a red pill guy, moderates it. And then some dude in there is doing the whole, you remember the spiel, the red pill will kill your soul, it's not as good. And then here's a link to my coaching. And we're like, oh, okay. I was sitting here, I'm typing it out as I read through it, like, this is wrong for this reason, this for this. I get to the end, I'm like, oh, never mind, this is just an ad. And he got mad at me doing the same thing that my one TikTok where Buddy was talking about how Rollo does he even love his wife or something, like weird shit like that. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to look up upstream Twitter to give him an example. Like, here, Buddy, let me help you with your brand. Shitting on the red pill's bad, because it was like the ugliest place on the internet, and you will not get clout from it. And so I gave that example, and then I brought up the upstream Twitter hash, and there was the guy on there talking great about it, and I retweeted it out from 5 years ago. Do you know upstream Twitter 5 fucking years ago?
Oh my God, I remember. Yeah, that whole hashtag. Yeah, I remember.
Jesus, 5 years ago. How many? And then I'm like, okay, what's he done since then? So I look at his Twitter. There's no link to a book or no link to a video or nothing. It's just like standard MRA talking points. And I'm like, hey, what a great teaching experience. Hey, remember all this shit, guys? 5 years of we're better than Rollo. And what has he got? He's bitching about the drag queen story hour. He got mad at me. And I love it, because your internet never forgets. I almost want to do a follow-up. I haven't blogged in forever, where it's kind of like the internet doesn't forget, but everybody who uses the internet does, because somebody will do the exact same shit that Stedman did without a shred of irony, because they just couldn't remember, oh, right, that ends with me in jail missing a passport.
Oh, well.
Or they'll write a cuck article and then be like, now it's time to make my brand mainstream.
Right. It's funny you say that. That reminds me, and I screenshot it and threw it up on Twitter. There's another, alpha male red pill brand out there that
Oh boy.
he said, and I think you might know who I'm talking about. He's
Of course I will.
He's one of He's one of ADJ's acolytes. Okay. Got the beard, glasses, likes to tweet about the West and porn.
Oh, this is if I take you want me to take a guess, or are we just inferring it now?
Yeah, go ahead, take a guess.
It's got I got Noah Ravoy vibes from this.
That's it. It's him.
And if you guys in the chat actually know who he is, let me know, because I'm pretty sure we just gave this guy his best branding ever. At least
Right.
morbid curiosity, if nothing's going to get you over there.
Oh shit. But he tweeted something along the lines of what the hell was it? He said, like, if you're not a productive man or an attractive woman, your life is going to be hard, is what he said. And I had to screenshot it, and I was like, ironic, coming from a guy who sits around and tweets most of the time on Twitter about saving the West and porn addiction. Being productive. And so I had to have a laugh about that.
Oh man.
and the fact was that, what made me laugh is like, he's being serious, he's like,
I think he wants to be serious.
Man.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't live up to his own tweets.
Oh, well,
he's probably talking to himself.
Exactly.
You're such an idiot. Save the West, you fucking retard. Damn it. I don't know why he's typing on a keyboard. He's probably just fucking angrily thumbing his phone. Diddling it like it's just the man in the boat. Just start rocking that man in the boat. Come on.
Well, yeah, because that's dating you if you're, doing keyboard motion. It's like, oh shit, we know how old you are now.
Wow, some of us still tweet on a laptop. I got it right here.
I do all the time. Yeah, but I'm a boomer, so there you go.
Fair enough.
You're right. He's, thumbing away madly or swiping,
Yeah, it's the whole thing. I almost kind of like, between this and the mids watches and you doing your thing, how it's almost like a record, and it's not, as far as I can tell, I don't think we're going anywhere. Even if I leave the red pill and join MGTOW TV or whatever else. What's the transition? I'm leaving the red pill, make a big show of it. If that plays, then just join MGTOW TV and
then slink back 6 months later and act like nothing happened. Again, try to go and delete your own content about leaving the red pill. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just be back quietly, do a vlog. And I always have to vlog in a shirt that I just came back from a run on because, oh, he's fit. He just ran.
Oh my god, the mockery of people on the internet. This is so great.
Well, how could you not? It's like I get it. I see my girl watches the pop culture stuff, and it's like the idiots that draw the attention because, like, I'm never going to see a guy do this dumb shit, so of course I'm going to watch it. But then the guys here, they're like believing. It's like, no, it's attention. It's good. It's literally that guy. It's like the kid. I mention this all the time. Remember the toddler? You've always seen him. The toddler falls down, bangs it off the coffee table. Everybody in the house is laughing at him. He gets up and he's like ready to cry, but then he realizes he's the center of attention. So he's like, oh, then slips 17 or 18 times. And everybody's like, just get the fuck out of here, kid.
Yeah, the first time was great because that was real. After that, whatever.
Yeah, that is masculinity branding in 2022. Falling and banging your head on purpose off the coffee table. I swear to God.
Oh, it really is. It really is. We're all just fucked.
I mean, I don't think, that's the thing. I don't think anybody actually tried semen retention that rants about it. I don't think the brands do. I think they want to. I think the audience doesn't. I think they want to. And it's like, if I watch the semen retention stuff, it's pretty much as good as not jerking off, even though I'm jerking off to the semen retention stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just keep thinking back to like the chapter 2 chick in my book, The Rose, where she's like, I'm balls deep and she's telling me how amazing her fiance is. And I'm just like, I don't buy it. I don't think he is. Well, or maybe he's great. Maybe he's really understanding. And that's what she was saying. I don't know.
Well, what that reminds me of, and we'll tie it in a little bit to the mom talk thing here. Okay. So obviously you get this influencer, you know, this social media influencer chick that's from Utah. And I had to go and look her up and look at some pictures. And I'm like, I'd bang, you know, I'd bang this chick, but that's me. But I'm looking at it and everybody's in an outrage and trending and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why is this a thing? You know, number one, why is this even a thing? But the part that always gets me, the part that kills me every time, is I see brands or influencers or somebody who comes out and goes, I'm a Mormon and we're pure and wholesome. And the part that kills me is everyone who knows them knows the story. They know the truth. But everyone else, the internet, the world at large, the part that kills me every time, and it never fails, they buy it. They buy it. They're like, oh yeah, they're pure and wholesome. Why? Because they said so. And I'm like, guys,
you're almost starting to make it sound like a good idea if I start telling everybody I'm an alpha male. It's like, well, most people will believe you, other than the people that know you.
Well, yeah, I'll laugh at you, but hey, you know, exactly. But that's what it is. That when I see like the mom talk thing and they're swingers, and I'm like, well, of course they are. You know, they're the little group profile of who these people are fits the swinging profile, because, you know, people talk about, well, how do you get into a swinging group? And it's like, you either
be hot, bring a girl.
Well, there is that, but if you want to find one that's already established, not only do you need to be, you know, bring a girl type of thing, and she'd better be hot, even hotter than you as the dude. But most of them, they don't have like a sign on the door or some signal or a code that kind of goes, hey, wink, wink, we're into that lifestyle. They don't do that. They're insular. So they are friends from high school or from their job or something. And they've been doing it for years, and they're very protective about their little group. And so they don't let outsiders in. You never know they're swingers until they invite you.
So you basically have to be Donnie Brasco on this shit.
Kinda, yeah. You kind of do.
Find your Al Pacino, have him let you in, and then you got to kill somebody, and then they trust you. Okay.
Kinda, yeah. Because that's when I first, and obviously swingers are all over the place if you know the right people. Mm-hmm. A few years back, I remember going to a party with my ex-girlfriend, and there was a certain subgroup, a little clique that was kind of off in the corner doing their thing. And I got looking at them and realizing, boy, they're all pretty fucking friendly with each other. You know, they're over there getting very familiar, you know, very handsy with each other and shit. And I just kind of said that to her. I was like, oh, you know, they're kind of fucking friendly with each other over there. And she's like, oh yeah, they're swingers. You know, because they had tried to invite her into that at one point because she's a good-looking woman. That, hey, let's bring her in. And they'll take single women. They just won't take single guys. Okay.
Well, of course not. Oh, gee, you know what we're short of now? Dicks. Nope, said nobody ever.
Right. Yeah, there is not a shortage of cock. Yep, that's correct.
Here's Sam. He's going to give you a shout out here. I love it too. People make the super chats now $4.99 because they know at $5 that's when the career is over. Heartfelt. Good to have Rob back. I was getting tired of Nietzsche's syphilis-induced philosophy. I think he's actually talking shit about me telling you guys about Red Pill in a clinical C-SPAN fashion, which, whatever, I'll take it.
$4.99 is $4.99. It's the Aaron Clary $20 is $20. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sam Whiskey, fuck you, heartfelt. How dare you bring up the Nietzsche syphilis philosophy article? Make the new merch a giant hoodie that says "Fuck Sam Whiskey" $4.99. I'm just joking, buddy. You know I got nothing but love for you. Oh yeah, that one there. So it's weird. Do you think they would take over from, like, I know the gay community in the 80s used to have the bandanas for what they were into.
Right.
So all you had to do was look for somebody wearing jorts with a bandana hanging out of their back pocket. You're like, all right, there's one.
Yep.
I don't remember. The colors all meant something. One was like only anal, one's only blowjobs. I'm a top, I'm a bottom. I don't know if there was one for like getting punched in the face and you're into that, like the Andy Dick thing, but I don't know.
I'm sure there probably was. But yeah, but swingers don't advertise like that. You know, they are actually very insular. that and it's guys that went to college together and were in a frat together, or it was guys that served in the military together that, hey, we went to war together type of shit.
Right. We're in the same foxhole. We can go into the other same foxhole.
We can share foxholes. That's kind of how that shit starts. And they tend to kind of just stick to each other, because part of it, they don't want the blow up that happens on TikTok when somebody, we soft swapped, which means we didn't go all the way. And I'm like, you fucking liars. You went all the way.
Yeah, okay, here, I'm going to do some prep stuff. We're coming back to that point because that's going to be hilarious. So if you guys don't know what the hell we're like, what is this mom talk Utah shit? Okay, TikTok has a thing called mom talk. And it starts with stuff like, I'm going to show you a story in a series of 3 videos. Actually, we'll do all 5, whatever.
Why not?
How do I make this? Let's just max it out. There we go. So there's music in this one because it's like the chick talk. So just hum your favorite tune.
Oh my God, we're so clean and wholesome. Look at me with my breastfeeding baby.
Yeah, breastfeeding baby, gained some weight, and everybody's like, no, you're still pretty. And then it leads into this stuff.
You still got it, queen.
Still got it. Having said that, I could almost make a whole video breaking down that 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Okay, so now here's the mom talk shit. So I tried to grab what was the best example I could find. Yeah. Oh, there.
Look at me being all curvy and shit. Still would bang.
Yeah, thin Mormon chick, looks hot, snooky orange, swinging, messy living room. This is like
that's real there. That part I'd say, yep, that's legit.
Yeah.
The messy living room.
And I don't know, is this a Mormon thing where they wanted to live like Bateman from the 80s? Because this looks like a 1980s, like, put on a skin suit apartment.
Yeah, kind of. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So next one. Part of the tragic tale of the Mormon soccer mom in orange. You put water on them and you feed them after midnight, and fuck, here's what you get.
Yep.
So remember that, where you get all the Mormons talking about, we're
that's
better
right there. That's basic bitch here. Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, unlike most other states, these chicks are thin, a little too thin, actually. I think that one there, it's like,
I'd still bang.
It hurts. I guess gently, I guess. Okay, so now we're into the part that matters. So here, so you've seen the background. Oh, mommy things are doing mom shit, and that's great. And then, the single moms come in.
It's clean and wholesome.
Yeah, clean and wholesome. Oh, she's got a downy kid, but she's happy and on a date. That's great. And, now they're swinging. Oh, and there's the friends. Well, at least they're all hot. Whatever.
Yeah, I've talked about this with my friends and even my husband. It's like, especially being married for after almost 7 years, it's called like the 7-year itch, where things get a little, stagnant, mundane. And so it's like, gotta mix things up. And me and my friends have talked out loud about it. And it's nice to like relate with people because it's like a very taboo conversation. No one wants to really admit that. Like they have certain desires, they want to do stuff, or things are kind of boring. And it's like, that's okay. It's whether what you do with it, really. It's not a bad thing though. It's human. People don't talk about it. Like girls really, they're not going to come out and say, I'm so bored, I desire this, right? No one's going to really say that, but we all feel it. Mm-hmm. So whether you admit it or not, and it's, I think, normal. And as like being married, it's up to you, like how you want to do that and work on things. But I wish people talked more about that.
Dude. And you know the worst part about this?
Hypergamy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's like, guys will take that as if it's like she's talking to, let's say she's talking to her man. They'll take that as a conversation, like a negotiation of desire.
Yep.
She's processing her need for dick. So here's the culmination of all this shit. I gotta fucking hum your favorite tune, motherfuckers. Oops. Who'd have possibly known it'd gone this way?
Who'd have thunk? Yeah. The best part is the fact that she's getting divorced and moving out, and instead of being like most normal people where, hey, shit happens, and so you pick up the pieces, you move on with your life. No, we got to TikTok that shit. We got to put that out there. The narcissism.
My life is a shit show. How can I get some clout off of this?
Right. How can I get some views on this? All for the almighty dollar, all for the revenue, man. And I'm just like, wow, the thing that people will do to capitalize on their own bullshit. That it's just,
and it's not even for money. Like, I was looking at the TikTok monetization thing. It's not like a extremely lucrative platform unless you're that jacked dude lives with his parents and has the ducks. But I think it's sponsorship mostly. Like, what's she gonna get sponsored for? Trojan?
Right.
Actually, are they like Catholics where they're like, no condoms, that's very ungodly, or do they care in Utah?
No, Utah is the abstinence only unless you're married. And then we don't need condoms because you're doing it for Jesus.
Gotcha. So they don't ban condoms. They just ban the lifestyle that would require them. Gotcha.
Correct. Right. Yeah. Well, and Utah doesn't even ban it. They just don't talk about it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give her a little credit on that when she was talking about that little bit about, people just don't talk about it because it is taboo. Okay. That's Utah. Utah, and I don't know about other states, but in Utah, saying the word condom like as a teacher in the public education system is a crime. Okay. You can lose your job and go to jail for saying it.
Jesus, that's almost as bad as taking your kids to Hooters.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah.
Oh, you guys in the chat get that like really dated reference already, don't you? Have you seen this, Rob? It's because the drag queen story hour. They finally found a second picture of a drag queen story hour thing, and they're like, "This is horrible for kids." And so all the pro drag queen tranny thing, I don't even know. They're showing pictures of kids at Hooters, going, "Well, if you got to ban this stripper, dude, then you got to ban the Hooters waitress." And everybody's like, "What the fuck?" The wings suck there. Like, nobody takes their kids to Hooters.
Right. Well,
or maybe they do. I don't fucking know.
Well, the Hooters in Utah all dried up and blew away because that's what happens here. So anything that's worthwhile in Utah tends to go the way of the dodo bird. So, well, there was a point. Here's a fun story that kind of is in the same vein. As
Alex's one or the one we just talked, or the Hooters one?
The Hooters one. No,
okay.
Alex. I don't care about Alex. He's my retarded son. He's just trying to throw money around to say, "Hey, look at me, Dad."
Hey, he's got a good TikTok channel. You guys actually, you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out. Like, follow him on TikTok. I'll put a link to it because I don't remember where it was. All right. There you go. Do your thing. So here, I know we're doing it's basically 2 hours of Chick Talk with Rob, and we're gonna have fun with this one. But here, there's like a lesson, and you guys probably already know this. I'm pretty sure we're already reinforcing this shit. But realize what people say and what people do isn't the same, and the ones that preach the most about how great they are tend to be covering for something. It's not a universal rule, but I mean, not all women are actually like that, but most of them kind of are. So take it for what it's worth. If you get a girl, you're dating, and she starts talking about the 7-year itch and processing her emotions, and you're thinking, oh, she just wants to ask me if it's okay, and if I say no, then she won't. She will.
Oh, she'll just keep it on the down low. That's
if you show
if you say, yeah, let's do this, then she'll jump right straight into it and do it right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to tie into, I did hear what you were saying where I had to go and, get a refill. Well, it's just me. What can I say? Hey, that reminds me, I was hoping it would show up by now, but it didn't. But I did get one of your Don't Eat Paint stainless steel bottles for water. For water.
Nice.
Because then at least that way I'm not advertising for someone who's not promoting or paying me, these guys. And so,
should have said something. I'd have sent you one.
It's all good. I wanted to pay for it because it's good stuff because it's you. So I'm still waiting for the fucking mail to bring that to me because I was hoping to have it this morning so I could be like, oh, what's this? Oh, Don't Eat Paint? What the fuck?
Hey, and that's a collector's item now. That's been discontinued. The entire merch line with the exception of the mug. It's done. Wow. It's not coming back. I'm doing what the email marketers tell you to do. You got to put that artificial scarcity, only 70 books left.
Yeah,
but I'm
there's only 3 of these bottles left. You better hurry up and get them.
But then I was thinking, why not just do that? Actually make it, because I just have to make more shit. It's not hard to be creative. I'll make another one.
Yeah.
And then that one will sell out after, and that'll be done after a year. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, this is the everyone's grandmother undressed for sailors. From
Oh, that's right, the Nick
from
one.
Nick. Yeah, I had to get that. I got a let 'em burn mug. I've drank beer out of that. I haven't drank coffee out of it yet, but I've drank beer out of it.
Really? 'Cause that's the only thing I drink out of my don't eat paint mug is coffee. No paint.
Oh, there you
Actually,
go.
that was kind of a lame joke. Whatever. Where are we going? Oh yeah, the Mormon chicks.
Oh yeah, going back to something. Oh, God damn it! Now it just.
That's fine.
When you get to my age, CRS, you can't remember shit.
Well, here I was. Oh yeah, there was one more thing to show.
I remember now.
Okay, yeah, do your thing.
I gotta say it. So whenever, and this is one of the things I've learned, because this is and I'm sure it's universal, but it really happens in Utah a lot. And you not only do, like if the Mormons or somebody says, hey, we're pure and wholesome, and everyone just fucking buys it, number one. But whenever someone screams the loudest about whatever it is, like the chick that says, oh, well, what would you think about, the 7-year itch, blah, 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 that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Not only that, but whatever they're screaming about, that's their thing. Like, that's where when I see these brands that talk about porn addiction, the evils of porn, I'm like, there's your fucking guy who sits around looking at porn all day.
Yeah.
That whatever their thing is, if they're anti-drug, that's your drug addict. That's the guy that's shooting heroin and smoking crack and doing all that shit. And porn, whatever it is that they're banging on about, the evils of, the West is degenerating because of this. I'm looking at it going, dude, you're the bigger degenerate than I am.
Yeah, it's basically a guilt confession.
Yes, that's exactly. I got to reframe it to look alpha and red pill aware and, throw the trademarks up there, all that shit. But that's where when I see all these guys talking about semen retention, I'm like, you're the guy that jerks off 17 times a day. I already got you. I know
so
how this
weird.
works.
Imagine feeling so guilty. You're like, I need to make a brand about this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like you've heard the term. You're a smart guy. You've heard the term sublimation, right?
Oh, I've never heard anybody speak it. I've only ever read it.
Right. Sublimation is where you take, for instance, like the impulse for sex, and instead of going out and fucking, you sublimate that energy into something else, like art. You become a painter, or you do a podcast, or you do whatever it is, but you take that desire and you transform it and transfer it to something else. That's sublimation. Okay. And then that's what I see, kind of like projection, where, guys, harp on this and that. They're projecting it, or like women project, oh, you're abusive.
I've heard the rumors.
Yeah. There's some rumors out there. It's kind of like projection, only it's you, instead of saying it's your fault, you're bad, you're evil, you're, misogynist, sexist, whatever, racist. All that shit that we see online all day long. Sublimation is where, well, I'm not going to jerk off because that's bad, but I'll create some visual masterpiece.
Yeah, it's like I was around for when the evangelical pastors were fire and brimstone, then getting blown in an airport bathroom. An airport bathroom. You couldn't even pick like an Applebee's or someplace somewhat quiet and off the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you had to be right in LAX.
Yeah, and the hooker you picked up was a $2 hoe. It's you couldn't pick a better looking woman than that. You found this woman that's could eat corn cob through a picket fence kind of thing because her teeth are so bad. Right, it's the same idea, same concept. Oh, look at the happy couple.
Yeah, well, I was like, people still might know what we're talking about. So here's like the ultimate thing. So that chick we were watching, that's Taylor and her husband Tate. Center of the drama, the divorce. You guys, the soft swinging, what Rob was talking about. So they were like, we want to swing, but we're not bad people. So they make like a bunch of arbitrary rules around it, which is fine if you can hold to the rules.
Soft swinging, for those that don't know, soft swinging is we kiss, we make out, we dry hump. Levi love. He might climb on top of me, but there's no penetration. That's what soft swinging is. And it's like,
apparently for these guys, they were like, yeah, you can fuck my wife, but I have to be there.
Yeah, well,
For some reason, like as long as I'm there, it's cool.
Right. As long as I can watch and I approve, we're good. Isn't that kind of the definition of cuckolding in that sense from a sexual standpoint?
Well, here's my thought. You know how like what's it? Rolo says like stepkids are basically cuckoldry on a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But like, let's say you marry the chick, you do that, but then you have 2 kids with her. So you got 2 stepkids and 2 kids of yours. Is that cucking or is that not cucking? In this case, he's like, yeah, you can fuck my wife, but I get to watch. He's like, but I'm also going to fuck your wife. At least I think. I don't know. Nobody ever admitted to who's having sex with who.
Yeah, that's. Is
that still cucking at that point? Or once you cuck each other, does that cancel?
Right.
Like, you know, when Iron Man and War Machine were shooting the thing at each other and just cancels it out? There's a Marvel reference for you.
No shit. Well, and you know, to cuck or not to cuck, since that's the question. I'm sitting there either way. You know, from a branding perspective, it's like, yeah, it's a wash. If you fuck my wife and I fuck yours, I'm still an alpha male.
Yeah, good. Probably alpha male con, because that was in Utah too. Okay, so here's the second couple. Now, this is why this is funny. This is Miranda, and I don't know who he is. He looks like the guy they take photos of when you buy a picture frame at the studio.
Yeah.
He's the generic one.
He's a typical Utah dude because I can already see the cluelessness in his eyes. Yeah.
Jesus. All right, so they the big thing was, oh, she must be the one, or he must be the one that was cheating, and turns out he wasn't.
No, it was
that's
her.
not the fun part, because that's just some drama shit. Oh, it was, though. But here's the thing. Apparently wasn't the one to cheat, but both of them are on OnlyFans together doing this shit. And I'm just thinking back to Buddy here, who's like, I've been good and godly my whole life, and ends up in this situation.
What I was told.
Yeah, he did what he was told, and this is what he ended up with, which is absolutely insane. I think back to Venkatesh Rao's Gervais principle, where there's 3 people in any kind of hierarchy, like the clueless, the sociopaths, and the losers.
Yep.
Like, clearly the guys here are clueless because they think it's great. It's just going to be a bunch of sex and I could still love my wife. And then the wife's like, no, I'm a sociopath. I'm going to fuck whoever, have feelings for whoever, and then do what I want.
Yep.
And then the losers are the guys who didn't get invited to this. And they're like, you know what sucks? These guys aren't at church.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, you summed it up beautifully. That is it, dude.
Really, that was fucking tragic,
dude. But it is that sums it up. You have the clueless, which is pretty much all the guys that just think, yeah, I'm gonna get all the sex I want from all these hot babes. No, it's the girls who are gonna go out and fuck everybody or whoever they want, and the clueless guys are the ones that they're kind of the black pill in a way because they're the bitter guys because they didn't get invited to the party. Yeah.
Oh, basically.
Dude,
I'm surprised more black pill guys don't realize that. It's like, yeah, your worldview sucks because as soon as you start getting a little, it's going to flip right over. And just call it sour grapes, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You got to be pissed off to grow.
Oh, God. I'm telling you. Dude, you literally just summed up the manosphere. You really did. You got the clueless, you got the couple of sociopaths, and then you got, well, you know, because there are, you know, that one guy that got arrested type of thing.
Yeah.
And then you got the bitter guys that weren't invited to the party. That's no shit. That you summed up the manosphere. Holy
That's
fuck.
unfortunate. That's sad too. So let me get your take on this. You're my Utahologist.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Camille and the husband Sam.
And
apparently they weren't involved in the couple swapping. And they're like, oh, this is weird. We're out of here. We don't like the drama. Now, is that a case of like clueless people who didn't realize what they were getting into? Or do you think it's a case of like, we dodged that bullet. Let's just, you know, play stupid and continue swapping with somebody else and keep their fucking mouth off of social media?
Well, and again, now it's a matter of we're speculating here. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And I'm just going off of a picture and I'm thinking it's actually both. Okay. On his end, it's the clueless. You know, he wasn't invited to the party. Okay,
but he's tall. He's over 6 feet, though.
Doesn't matter. Okay, I can already just tell by the look on his face, his stance. You know, yeah, we're getting into phrenology or whatever. We're gonna get green lines out here in a minute. Okay, but literally, he had no idea. So he's just like, well, I'm glad. You know, we weren't part of that. She was. Okay. She was invited. She may have declined, but she was invited. I guarantee it. Okay, because she's hot. Okay, she's actually hotter than some of the other mommy blogger, mom talkers, whatever. That it's like, yeah, she got an invitation. Somebody approached her. He had no idea, and she didn't say a fucking word to him. So she's keeping her reputation because you were the guy that pointed out women love sex, but they love their reputation even more. I'm paraphrasing you.
No, it's pretty good paraphrasing.
It is, because it's like, if women love saying no, it's because they want to, protect their rep. So for her, she's the one going, ooh, man, I dodged a bullet on that one, where he's just like, yeah, we're pure and we're saving the West, and I don't want to be hanging around those degenerates. The
fact that he was Chad incarnate probably saved his ass, because
yeah,
I can tell she may want to have fun, but you're right. Like, her fear of losing this top shelf dude is probably more than it's worth.
Yeah, there's your hypergamous option shit there, that she knows she's not going to get better than this. And so she would rather be like, yeah, no thanks. I'll stick with what I got. I'm good. She dodged a bullet. He had no idea. That's what's going on here. And that would sum up most of Mormon Utah culture right there. Ooh. The women are dodging bullets, and the guys have no idea, and they think they're saving the West, and degeneracy is bad. Okay,
tisk, man. So here's the funny thing: I want to bring up I can't remember source amnesia for the study, but it was something that the hotter a girl is by an objective standard, the less lifetime partner she has, and then the uglier a girl is, the more. The idea is, like, if you're not hot, you can make it up for being available. So this one is apparently the evil incarnate, Whitney. People around her husband, active Tinder account. She's been at the center of all of the controversy. And I guess her biggest thing, the thing that they hate her the most for, is she was posting videos dancing in the ICU while her kid had RSV and a bunch of other, death things. Like, they was going to die as a newborn infant. Do you remember that one?
She was dancing on the soon-to-be grave. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the grave of her kid.
All right.
So I always find it funny because everybody's always thinking, they're always worried if they have the hot friend, Like, oh, she's the supermodel. Oh, guys are going to be constantly chasing her. They're going to pick her up. She's going to sleep around. I just know it. As soon as some nicer guy comes around. In my experience in the military, it's always the fours that you got to watch out for, because A, Machiavellian, B, available, and C, they'll jump at opportunity when it comes up, because, this is my one shot. If I get knocked up by that guy, there's a pension in it for me, or at least half of one.
Yep. No, you're not wrong. Yep. I can see that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is your apex predator out of that group. Yep, right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, middle-aged, what is it? Middle-aged white women, the apex predators. All right, let's get this. I'm tired of watching slutty Mormon chicks on the thing, and not a single nip. That's the worst part. The cock tease aspect of it.
Well, and you know what? It's funny. I'm glad you brought that up, okay?
Are you really?
I am, because that's a thing, too. There's a lot of cock teasing. And so if you can get one of these, hot Mormon chicks to actually do shit, the chicks that know what the fuck they're doing and have done it, and they're not the bishop's daughter anymore type of thing. They're not on TikTok. They're not on Instagram. They're not showcasing their brand to the world. Okay, they're just going out. They're fucking guys, and they're doing their thing. And that's
on the DL.
Yeah, and it is. It's all on the DL, man. It's all on the down low. Okay,
dude, I'm so glad you said that.
Yep, because the ones that show all that shit, and I'm going to show you my midriff, but no nipple, dude. They are cock teases, and they're the ones that typically, if you do get one, you're kind of like, oh, I got this chick. She's going to suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. It's going to be great. And then she gets down there, and she's like, I don't know what to do.
If it even makes it that far.
Yeah.
Usually as soon as you start escalating, and that's why I tell guys, you got to escalate, man, because you can't tell the difference between a girl who's available and a girl who's just like, I'm not available, but I play it on TV. Escalate. As soon as you start touching the small of her back, if she starts getting flaky, then you know exactly what you're dealing with.
Yep. That she's either just in it for the free meal, or she's not nearly as experienced as she pretends she is. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the part that makes me laugh the most, because you see so many alpha male brands on Twitter and shit. They're like, look at this chick acting slutty. She's such a slut. Whamming her whores. Am I right, fellas? Join my private community of masculine excellence. And I'm like, what's that?
Masculine excellence, yeah.
And there's that line you always use about how they always telling themselves. What was it? How do you word it?
Oh.
They always rat themselves out or something?
That's it, yeah. They always out themselves.
And it's like right there. My
always
first thought when I
happens,
see
so.
that stuff, I'm like, that is such tease stuff. I guarantee you they're flaky as shit once you try to even go for it.
Yep, they look like the world's biggest whore, but the reality is she's had maybe 1 or 2 cocks if she's lucky. That's it. Yep.
And that's what makes me laugh the most, because it's easy to look at the incels doing incel theory and then laughing at them because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, because they have no clue either. It's the clueless leading the dumb, it's the blind leading the blind. It's like, well, you guys really are idiots.
And that's the thing. This is no different, where they're like, oh, look at the whore doing the whore things. It's like they're not doing the whore things. They're trying to get male attention.
That's it. That's all they're doing. Because
drag queen storyteller for cis white women.
That's it, dude. That's it. That is it. Oh my God. Someone needs to just timestamp that.
Clip
one.
that shit.
Yeah, no shit. Because you just nailed it right there succinctly. That was great.
But that's how you know most of these guys don't have experience with women. And I'm not saying you have to be like 6'4" champion kickboxer to get anywhere. I'm like 175 centimeters, average at best, and everything that matters. Even the tan, it's not dark enough for even a soft A.
I'm below average, and I still do better. So who cares?
But that's the point. It's like everybody thinks you have to be like, you have to reach this standard. You must be this tall to get on the ride. It's like, no, man. The ride's there. You just have to learn how to learn how to run a stick shift.
Yep, you
have to show up.
You just
show up.
Say, I want to get on the ride, and realize that even though there's a sign that says must be this tall, that sign's it's for reference. It doesn't matter.
Dude, everything is that the Mormons with the godliness thing, that's 6 feet tall to get on the ride.
You got to be this tight with Jesus in order to get to the celestial kingdom. No, you don't.
Technically, Jesus did hang out with prostitutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Okay.
But he was at least smart enough to keep it quiet. It's like, I'm not going to tell you what we did. I'm just reading the Bible. Nothing happened.
I'm just having them wash my feet. It's all good. Yeah, exactly.
What's the word? Sacrilegious?
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm heretical. I'll admit that. It's like, you really want to outrage the crowd. Let's talk religion. We'll talk about Jesus getting his feet washed. I'm like, sure he did. You bet.
It's just annoying. I mean, I guess I'm kind of at a fuck 'em stage like you. But it's a nice turn of phrase to say it's annoying, where you see guys, and there's some guys who have potential. They were just, the wrong circumstances, the wrong upbringing, the wrong chicks tell them the wrong things. So they're kind of led astray. And you're like, dude, all you literally need is to understand a little bit this stuff. Go get laid once. Tom Bombadil. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Wonderful guy in the chat. Everybody couldn't stand him. And then John and I got him laid. And then he turned into a wonderful man that everybody liked.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
All of a sudden, wow, gee, the dude's getting his dick wet and he had a 180. Yep.
Yeah. Still doing the Jesus thing. Still a good upstanding Christian, but he's not stupid and naive about it. And I've seen enough of those guys where I'm willing to put up with the river of fucking retards. Can I say that on YouTube without getting banned?
Well,
you guys still see this?
Yeah, I was
Hello?
say, we're gonna find out here in a minute.
Right. But you know what I mean? So there's 9 out of 10 guys are completely clueless, no chance in hell. But there's that one guy who listens to this and he's like, oh, goes and talks to that girl that's been flirting with him for 6 months and didn't realize. And he's like, oh, it's really easy, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it's deceptively easy. There'll be breaks, there'll be gaps, there'll be slump busters. Physician rehab, kudos to you, man. Finally had his first slump buster. He's like, I'm not proud. I'm like, yeah, but you're out of the slump, whatever.
That's the point. Yeah, that's why they're called slump busters. Yeah. And everybody has them. And the guys that say I only bang 9s and 10s, brah, he's either just jerking off or he's fucking 2s. That it's like, yeah, you had 9s and 10s because you had like 8 of them. I don't care. But again, it goes back to they always out themselves. That it's like, oh, kind of like the porn addiction and all of that. Oh, that guy just outed himself. He's the guy that has the chronic masturbation problem. It's the same idea. Yeah, they always out themselves, always.
And it's speaking back to here's tying it all the way back to the beginning. Remember your dead internet theory you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about that too. So you see, this channel is 22,000 subscribers, something like that. It's not big, it's not small, it's normal sized. And then I'm seeing channels every week. There's a new fucking asshole whaminate shit channel doing chick talks, unironically, who's 100,000 subscribers, and then they get kind of the same views I do. And so I'm like, is there even people watching these things? Where are these subscribers come from? Is everybody buying subscribers? Is it people subscribe to watch one video and then move on? Is it one group of guys that are subscribing to every asshole on the internet and not watching any of it?
Well, it's funny, that guy that I was telling you about with the internet is dead. He's got a pretty large following. He's got like 200,000 or something like that. But he even admitted, he said, you know, every time I publish a video, I lose 10 subscribers like immediately. Just 10 guys gone.
Huh.
Okay. And then a couple days later, the 10 are back. Okay. His theory, again, we're getting tinfoil hat here, but it goes with the bots and all the shit, is that YouTube took out 10 actual people, real subscribers, took them out, just they're gone, and then replaced them with bots. Because he doesn't get the interaction. And you and I both, because you've done this before, where you'll find a dude on Twitter and you go to Social Blade or whatever, and hey, well, they had this huge fucking spike in subscribers. You know, he was
on Tuesday.
You know, he had 10,000 subscribers, but then on Tuesday he got 100,000 more overnight. That we all kind of go, oh, he bought those, and chances are he did, whoever it was. Okay, but at the same time, you see those same accounts, and you've pointed this out, Ryan. They make some kind of tweet. They got, 500,000 subscribers. They get 356 likes. They get 4 retweets and 2 comments. And it's like, you really have this big following and yet little to no interaction. And yeah, in some cases with Social Blade and other metrics, you can kind of show that, oh yeah, he just dropped a bunch of money. And again, it's the Potempkin village. It's that appearances. It's the facade. It's the fakeade. It's the, look at me, I have 1 million subscribers. I'm somebody. I'm important. Even though they're all just fucking bots, except for the 7 guys that show up, and that's the retweet and the likes and all that happens. Okay, YouTube, all these things that we're dealing with today, they're no different. They're all the same. That, oh, I have 1 million subscribers, and some of them, I bought a few, but we're not going to talk about that. But the rest of them, they're bots. I think of my subscribers on, my followers on Twitter. I got like 2,600. And some of them are dead, where I used to interact with them and they just disappeared. They decided, fuck Twitter, and away they went, but they didn't delete their account. They didn't pull a Carl and delete. They just walked away. Because I've gone back and been like, oh, I haven't heard from that guy in a while. And so I go back to his timeline, and last time he tweeted anything or retweeted anything was back in 2020. It's like, oh, gee, did the coof get him or something? And so I reach out privately sometimes, and oh no, he's fine. He just, I got tired of Twitter, man. Oh, cool. Good for you. Yeah. Then I look at it and I go, even for my engagement, I'm like, God, hey, I got 4 likes. I'm on fire, but I have 2,600 guys. And it's like, same with YouTube. I have this.
Oh yeah, 10% is like a good video. 10% of your subscriber viewership for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I've learned. That it's like, hey, if I can get that small of a number, I'm doing pretty fucking good here. And it really comes down to, it's either you bought it and it's we're not going to talk about that because it's the illusion, or you think organically that, hey, wow, look at me go, let's flex, I'm alpha male, red pill aware, I'm the prize. And so you buy your own hype, but the reality is it's YouTube shoving bots in a lot of cases at you.
Well, that's what I don't know if I'm an idiot or if I'm smart on this. I'm leaning towards idiot, but at the same time, like I've seen everybody else but me be wrong before, so I don't know where to go with this yet. But you're right, like, it hides everything. So if you got, you said 2,000 subscribers, and they're people that are engaged, they like you, and you buy 100,000, now you can't really focus on those 2,000 people that actually engage with you. So you kind of lose them. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know. I don't either. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never subscribed to somebody because, wow, this account's big. What am I missing? Like, that's never crossed my mind.
Same here. Same here. I don't look at it and go, wow, he's got 1 million subscribers. I better sign up and see what all the fuss is about.
So it's almost like you're fluffing your own ego.
Yeah.
And in doing so, actually ruin the relationship you might have with, like, the fact that I know who Marty is. If I had 100,000 subscribers, who the fuck is Marty? Even now, I'm like, I kind of wish that would happen because it's fucking Marty, but you know what I mean.
Well, that's how everybody feels about
Yeah,
Marty.
and then the YouTube thing, I get it too, because they're moving away. It's an algorithm thing where,
Oh, it's advertising. It's all about revenue. It's all
well, they
about
realize that if you just show the subscriptions, people will skip by a lot of it. So they're experimenting on how to engage. I don't know if it's good or not the way they're doing it now, but so if you have 1,000 subscribers and you put out a new video, they'll initially show it to like, I don't know, 100. And then of those 100, they'll check their engagement metrics. And if they pass a certain threshold, they'll show it off to like, 500 of your subscribers. And then all of your subscribers plus, random people on the various things there. So they're basically forcing you to go viral in your own community.
Well,
in order to go
you know
viral
what?
elsewhere.
I think you're actually onto something because, again, going back to that, the internet is dead.
Mhm.
That's something this guy brought up too, going back to the blogs and the YouTube channels, since he's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
He said that, for the channels that actually put out like content, we're not talking red meat outrage, the latest TikTok or whatever, the shit that YouTube promotes. It's, it is the guy vlogging going, today's a good day. I'm out fishing. I'm doing my thing. I'm basically Aaron Clary, but I'm not bitter. Well, and those people, the content doesn't get yanked. YouTube doesn't, demonetize them or whatever because they haven't done anything wrong. They haven't violated the TOS. Okay. The difference is YouTube just never shows that to anyone. They're like, well, yeah, this guy he hasn't done anything wrong, but he's not going to make us money. He's not part of, the system. He's not part of the algorithm. So he just fades into obscurity because only 4 people saw his video that he did 2 years ago, which was actually a really good video for people that are like, I just want genuine, someone genuinely doing something real, not some brand bullshit.
Yeah.
They just
soft swinging,
promote it. Yeah,
watching content without the clickbait.
Right, exactly. And so YouTube just doesn't promote that. Because I've even wondered that about my channel, where, yeah, granted, I'm not a marketer. I'm not the guy constantly promoting and doing the thing. That's the thing I've kind of learned from Paul, watching him do his thing. That it's like, that makes sense. I see why he does what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just can't be bothered. I'm like, fuck it. I don't care. I got shit to do, man. I got life to live. And I'm not throwing shade at Paul. It's just I don't have the time and I don't care. But that explains when so many people have hit me up and said, dude, you only have, you don't even have 1,000 subscribers.
Critically undervalued.
Yeah. But, my answer is, well, it's because I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing the marketing thing. I don't care. But a lot of it is it's YouTube because I've never, had videos taken down. Other than there was some videos way back before I, decided to brand. I had videos that were like me motorcycle riding, and I was using copyrighted music. Well, they never took the video down, but in some areas it was like, okay, over in the Middle East, because Misha's country doesn't like AC/DC. So we're gonna not let you hear, he can't watch this video. It's blocked in the Middle East because it's AC/DC, and I'm being oddly specific for a reason. Okay, and I'm not saying it's the.
Is it because AC/DC is Jewish or?
I don't know what it is. There might be Mormon. But I know it's not the band's decision. That it's the record label that made this decision. And so I get it, but there's, some of my videos were not. You could not see them in certain areas. Okay. And eventually I took them down because it wasn't relevant to what I wanted to do. It was time for me to pivot. Well, it's just fun throwing these terms up there. But I now kind of understand when this guy said, hey, if you're being, genuine, you have a topic, you want to have a discussion, that's not good for business. That's not good. That's not going to get clicks and eyeballs. That's not going to get advertisers getting clicked on. And YouTube doesn't want that. And so while they may not demonetize you or nuke your channel,
no, they'll just cut your ability to grow.
Yeah, they just don't promote you. And so you scream into the void.
Yeah, and tying this into why this matters for you guys, and it's not just content creators bitching about content, that's the game. You play the game if you want to. I'm with you where I don't want to do that, but at the same time, if I'm going to make a video I want people to watch it, so I have to, and that's why the chick talks are kind of there. It's like, here, I'll laugh at women, but I'll, spoon feed you some shit. Content is now basically feeding a kid medicine with an airplane spoon, making whoosh sounds. But then that's the thing. Like, if you all of a sudden, and I'm not naming names, but you guys will probably have a good idea who many people I'm talking about. Where, okay, so I gotta do some red meat. I gotta get like the fire going. What does Rollo call it? Red flaming tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fine. Do that to get your content
wrong.
out.
Yeah, he's not.
But yeah,
wrong.
but then eventually you get hooked on the growth, so you start doing more red meat and less content, and more red meat and less content. And that's how you get these guys that start wearing their brands as a skin suit afterwards.
Yeah,
would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Yep, they become caricatures. Yes, and
I like how you put it. Yeah, caricature.
Well,
First is tragedy, then is farce.
There you go. It's true.
There's a Marx quote for you.
And I don't remember if it was in Trust Me, I'm Lying, if it was in there or where it was. And I want to say it was you that said it or somebody said it, that when you first found this guy, whoever that guy is, there's plenty that you can be like, oh yeah, this guy fits the mold. This guy fits the mold. When they first started, they were actually doing content and they were like, I do not give a fuck, because they weren't being monetized. They weren't getting advertising. And so they said whatever they wanted to say and they said it the way they do it. They just, fuck this, fuck that, whatever. And everybody loved it because it's like, oh my God, here's this guy.
It's refreshing.
It's refreshing. It's authentic, even though, we hate that term now. But
I say genuine or sincere. I find those are more accurate.
Well, there you go. He was genuine or he was sincere because he's saying, fuck this, fuck that, whatever. But then, so a bunch of people do subscribe and all of a sudden he hits that magic number, the 1,000 or whatever. And now all of a sudden he gets advertising. And now if he wants to keep that money going, now he has to alter the message or he has to alter how he says it. And the next thing you know, he's become a caricature because, well, one, I'm dancing for money now. Mm-hmm. And I have to say it in a way that's YouTube appropriate. Because if I say it my original way, I'm going to get demonetized and or I'm going to get nuked. And so it becomes about the brand now instead of, hey, this guy was sincere when he said XYZ. And I see it all the time. It even goes to the whole pivot when we've joked about that, oh, okay, Mr. Murphy, we dug up his cuckold article and he gets pissed and it's like, oh, now he's got to pivot. Or Cernovich, I used to, do blow and bang, hookers. And now I'm a journalist,
Dude, the whole thing is, Kevin Samuels is a great example of that, but fuck it, whatever. The whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize it's not the only way to do it, but it's the easiest and the fastest way to do it. Case in point, like you can just work more. Yep. You can write a book, you can add, but books are work. I don't care what anybody tells you, they're fucking work. But but books are hard.
Yeah, you would know.
Mm-hmm. But it's easier to dance like a monkey. It's what else is a good work? Like you can make longer form content like movies. A lot of guys do that. Even iDubbbz did that one where he found the fat guy in Michigan doing lightsaber battles. Made a 90-minute movie on that one. You can go made a content creator clash. All the Manosphere talking about how they're big tough alpha males. The fucking dude who ate human hair just made a content creator clash, and they just did boxing, which, by the way, pretty entertaining. I gotta admit. Remember Epic Mealtime?
No, I don't.
Oh, the guy Harley from there, Canadian, ended up boxing this guy from Game Grumps, this fat, pudgy guy, but it was like, holy shit, he outweighed him by like 50 pounds. It was a slaughter. Got Sam Hyde to train him. But that was the thing. Like, all this stuff takes work, and it takes effort, but it's easier just to say, whammon ain't shit. Or, I'm going to bring tits onto my podcast, or what's the other one? I shouldn't talk shit about them because I don't really know them yet, but the only example I can think of is SOS podcast. I don't know much about it, but it seems that they want to bring as many hot girls into the room as possible. Like they're trying to relive that 2000s Spike TV vibe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get the gist. But yeah, that hey guys, take some notes since we're swapping notes here, because we're the red pill. If you want your channel to blow up or you want your, again, we're doing a visual medium, blocking is not really going to cut it here so much. But, you want your YouTube channel to grow. Rolo was right, red hot tits. Okay. It's you have some flames going on. They're wearing red attire and it's boobs. Okay. You want your channel to grow, get a chick with tits to show up and be your co-host. And then like even you
not even hot. You want a 6 or you want attainable, I think.
Yeah, so a 5 or a 6. You want the girl next door. She's just hot enough that you stand a chance. Where, yeah, if she's a smoke show and you're just like, you're a 5. Because let's be honest, guys, bell curve, you're all fucking 5s. I'm a 5. Ryan's a 5. We're all fucking 5s.
Hard 5.5 here. Speak for yourself.
Well, that's kind of my thoughts. Hey, speaking of that, do you remember Hot or Not when that website first came out and it was rating photos? Do you remember that?
Oh, my God. It was like every guy became a 3 and every girl became a 10, and like incels have ruined it for everybody.
Right. Well, there's that part of it, but I remember doing that you throw a couple of photos up there and you let people rate them, and you as the person putting the photo up, it wouldn't show you the individuals, like, well, so and so, Ryan Stone said you're a 2, and and Alex Swerve Costello said you're a 9. It didn't go that deep, but it would say like, oh, you got this many 4s and this many 1s and this many 10s and all that. And I know, and granted, it's not necessarily mathematically sound, but when I put photos up back in the day, I rated ultimately over, the average, over like 1,000 ratings. I rated a fucking 6, and I was like, oh, wow, I'm just a little bit hotter than hot. Interesting, because there were some that were like, oh, he's a 10, and it's like, okay, I either fit a profile, a niche that I'm the guy for you, or you're just being generous, that I give everybody a 10, because I want to, boost their confidence. And then, of course, you get the ones where, well, they're being picky, that, well, of course you're a fucking 1 because the only thing that's going to be a 10 is Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp or whoever it is. But the majority were 4s, 5s, and 6s. And that's where I'm looking at all the guys in the chat going, yeah, you're all about 5. Even if I don't know what you look like. And some of these guys, I have seen them. I know what Alex looks like. I know what Dante looks like. And I'm looking at them going, they're not bad. But yeah, they are. They're mids. They're
mid
5s. Yeah, like your mids watch. Yeah, they're mids. That's it. They're
no, that's the TikTok trend now, where there'll be some chicks dancing, and then guys will just respond on a stitch going mid, and then the girl fucking loses her shit. It's like saying you're averagely attractive. It's like fuck you.
But it's the truth. It's the truth, and that's the thing. Dude, there was God, it's been probably almost 2 years now, and he took his channel down, which is unfortunate. There was this black pill guy that I had done my blog post about the black pill, and he, it got some controversy at the time. I had like 7 likes and a couple of retweets type of thing. So I was like, oh, I'm on fire. This guy reached out to me and he was like, hey, I want to have you on my show because I want to talk about these things. Well, I got to see, because he never showed his face publicly, but I got to see what he looked like. And I'm looking at him going, dude, you're a 5. You're actually in pretty good shape for, who you are, your age, all that, because he's a young guy. And I'm like, well, you're more ripped and jacked and shredded than I am. It was
a gym cell.
Yeah, kind of. But it was all the mentality. It was all, that's what it was. And that's what I wasn't trying to convince him because, I'm not going to do that. I'm not Captain Save a Bro. But that literally was it. It's like, dude, it's not because he's short like me. He's like 5'4". And so he's like, it's because we're short. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's never been an issue unless I made it an issue. That's never been an issue for me. My belly dancer is 5'7". She fucking, practically towers over me. She doesn't care. My ex-wife was almost 5'9". She didn't care. And it's like, no, that's on you guys. If you make it an issue, then yeah, she will. But if you don't, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
And
there's some that do, but you're going to get rejected for all kinds of reasons. At least.
Well, hey, one of my favorites for me personally was a chick where I met her. I'll call her Cece just for fun.
Yeah.
And we're bantering and flirting and things are going well. And so I'm like, hey, you know, we should hook up type of thing. And she like hard break, full stop. And she looked at me and she's like, oh, damn, Rob, I would, except I like black guys. That's her thing. So if I'd been Denzel Washington, I would have been in. But because
that sucks.
But that's her thing. She likes black guys. That's her thing.
Just tell her. It's like, if you want to, I can. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that.
No,
I was going to get real jokey there, and I'm like, no.
I kind of know where you were going, and it's like, yeah, that might get you demonetized. You might want to bite your tongue, sir.
Nice try, sir. There's only 2 rules on the internet: no Austrian painter dissertations, and stay away from the hard R stuff.
That's right. That's right. I kind of knew where you were going. That's like, you might want to stop now, sir.
Yeah.
I know where you were going. Yeah.
And for you guys, like,
crossed my mind, but I was like, but this is her thing. This is what she's into.
Yeah, it's whatever. And and here's the thing for you guys and the audience side. It's like, I'm tired of hearing like, it's for you. Potemkin village is Potemkin? Potemkin villages. Everything you see online. Stop calling people nihilistic and cynical. It's like, dude, it's not cynical. It's actually pretty accurate. Don't trust anybody online. I wouldn't trust me. I wouldn't trust
Rob.
I
wouldn't either. Dude, you brought up a great one. I hate to interrupt, but I have to. You brought it up one day on fucking Twitter, and it was beautiful because some random chick, you were having a dialogue over whatever you tweeted, and she jumped in. And then you turned around and you go, well, you know, like 20% of guys say you should use this because it was like a health thing, you know, like you should do some herbal shit or something. You just out with this like statistic right out of your ass, and she bought it. She was like, I'm gonna have to look into that. That sounds plausible. And then you were the one who said, oh, you know, who are you trusting? I'm just some random asshole on the internet. Okay, you said that. Those were your words. You're like, I'm just some random asshole on the internet. And I even did a blog post because of that, calling it random assholes on the internet, because that's the thing. As consumers, we are far too trusting. We assume face value that, oh, if they say they're pure and wholesome, well, they must be because they said they were. Oh, they say they're, you know, the weightlifting guy, you know, unless I can actually see the results, like with Drew Bay, that, okay, yeah, that guy actually knows what he's talking about. Okay. But we assume that because you said it, therefore it must be true. You must know what the fuck you're talking about. And so you buy it and you start parroting it or start doing it until it fucks you up. As you say, don't eat paint. Okay? Yeah. Same idea.
Well, Rob could pull off a Trudeau and be in there. Thank you for the 490 super chat. It's almost, there's vowels. I think there's 1 or 2 vowels. Don't mean to poke fun. You're good people, but it's like, come on, dude, take your time. It's fine. I'll read it. As long as you don't ask about the cuck article. Yeah, the whole thing.
That's right. And then it's fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you very much. Thank you. Good night.
But your point's right. Everybody just tells you what they are, and everybody wants to believe them. And I'm seeing, you could bring it up so many things. Like you want to bring up, I don't know, maybe a certain medical procedure that's experimental in that, but some authority said it's great, so you believe them. Then you find out it's not.
Hey, did you know the vaccine is 98% effective until it's not?
Yeah. Did you know that the police asked us to do the Emergency Measures Act until we asked the police, and they're like, no, we didn't ask. Well, it's like, yeah, well, you know, he inferred it. It's like, oh, okay. I just don't understand how people, or maybe it's a naive thing, where you just see so many examples of being flat out lied to. And it's not like only the Dems or like only the Republic. Like, no, everybody's doing it.
Right.
So how can you not get a thick skin of cynicism and towards somebody? And like, is this something I can try and see if it's right or not? Is this something I can not try?
Yep.
But I guess that requires a little bit of work.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. It's not only naivety on some part. I'd say, you know, you get the 18 to 21, 22-year-old guys, you know, using our space as the example. Yeah. I think a lot of it's naivety. They just don't have enough experience because they haven't lived long enough. The rest of it, they're lazy. It's just you don't want to think. Again, it's critical thinking, because critical thinking takes work. You know, you have to research, you have to do the work, and they don't want to do the work, so it's just easier to go, well, that sounds plausible. That makes sense. That agrees with my worldview, and so therefore, yep, he's right. So I'm going to go with that instead of going, wait a minute, he's some fucking random asshole running his mouth on a microphone on the internet. What the fuck does he know? I got to look into this and see, maybe he's onto something. Then again, maybe he's full of shit.
And that's where the clout thing kind of comes in, though. We were just talking about how, like, the algorithm, the memeing and shit, and how you get attention with the red meat. That's the problem. If it was one guy, I could see a lot more people going, it's one guy. Yeah. But that's... Twitter, social media is always like a 6-year-old kid's soccer game. Everybody just swarms whatever ball is big. Oh, Johnny Depp got to court. It's fucking... Every lawyer on Twitter just became a divorce court expert and a defamation expert.
Well, just
even though they haven't passed the bar.
Yeah, and it's just like back in the day, they were all virologists. You know, they all understood how viruses work. You know,
yeah, and we're not talking like you can have lay opinions about stuff that's reasonable, but that's not what we're saying. But that's the thing: you get these guys. And now they're all chasing the Johnny Depp ball or the mom talk ball. And so in this group of people, who's getting the most attention? So, well, you got to be like viral within the viral thing by saying more and fancier. And that's how you end up with like semen retention. It went from just like, hey guys, stop jerking off and go talk to girls. You'll probably get laid more. And it went from that. And then everybody started talking about that.
Testicular cancer. You know, hey, we need to make, testicular cancer awareness. So don't jerk off for a month. Now it's a virtue. You know, I'm alpha male because I don't touch my penis.
And that's the thing, because like in a sea of like mildly retarded, you need somebody who's 99.9% retarded to sink above it. And then everybody sees that guy's getting the clout, so they all jump on that like a soccer ball. And then you end up just this rabbit hole of stupid, ridiculous nonsense. And I hate it.
It's not because
it's not entertaining. It's entertaining as fuck.
Yeah, it is. It is entertaining, or no one would watch it, but it's stupid.
Yeah. Like hypergamy. Hypergamy has completely been ruined as a concept because of the fucking internet.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Because when I first heard about it, I'm like, well, this has been around since we've been around. You know, this
you just have a term to throw on it now. Awesome.
We got a label for it. Okay, this is what we're going to call it. And yet everybody runs with it. And it's become this Lilith, destroyer of worlds, give up all hope. And, they're going to fuck everything if you're not constantly on top of them. Yeah. And it's just,
the map of women, and it's just a big thing of there be dragons here in the ocean. You're like, fuck, whatever. And I don't like it. I get it's entertaining, but the problem is it's not entertaining anymore. It got to the point where it's so hyperbolic and it's so insane that people just kind of burn out from it. And I think this is where we're there now, because there's people with like $1 million budgets producing dating and relationship shit based on red pill stuff. At that point, like, where else are you going to go from there? It's kind of peaked. And everybody's like, is the red pill going to go mainstream? It's like, I think it's going to fizzle out. I really do. Which is going to be awesome, because I'll still be here ranting about, field reports and Mids Watch stuff. And whammon ain't shit, but, you ain't shit either. And nobody wants to hear that. I guess this is kind of my way of saying, just get on the second channel. We play Minecraft. We talk about this stuff. We keep it a little bit casual. We have some Zomboid streams. I put like an ad on here so you guys can see the kind of content on there. I think you'll enjoy it a bit better. Yeah, Red Pill loves selling FUD to incels. That's the other thing. So I think, how everybody talks about the LGBT pride stuff because there's like a marketable demographic that's into that stuff? Chicks without kids, gay couples, lesbian couples, they have a huge amount of disposable income, and there's a large enough group of them that if you pander them, they'll buy rainbow-colored, widgets at 20% markup. Like, how could you not? I do think that there is an internet drive. Incels, for some reason, have gotten just enough engineering jobs that they have become a marketable demographic. I'm convinced of this. And that people realized, hey, if I talk about, evil whammon, Lilith, destroyer of worlds, if I talk about, how Chad is an ass and you guys are special, and that Sigma male shit that Rolo and I talked about, which I love geeking out to, but I hated it from a content perspective. I think now incels with their money are now the new power play on the internet. It's the new gold rush.
Well,
what do you think?
No, dude. anytime there's something that trends, or like the incel or the black pill, okay, you go back a few years and neither one of those terms even existed. Okay, if you'd have said it 5 years ago, if you'd Ryan's on here going, whammon ain't shit, black pill, incel, and we'd all been like, the fuck are you talking about? Okay. But somehow the buzzword took off and people chose to identify, because, hey, that sounds like me. I never get invited to the parties. When there's a swinging thing going on with the hot mom chicks, I never get invited. Fuck that shit. I'm an incel, or I'm a black pill, or whatever it is. It is a demographic that you can sell to.
Yeah, and you needed social media. You couldn't beforehand, because it's like I used a reference in here, total geek reference, a VLAN. Do you know what a VLAN is?
Isn't that, it's internet related, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, well, like there's a network. You get like a router, a hub, a switch, or whatever, and you connect to multiple computers in the same geographic area.
I was going to say, it's more like a private network typically. It's like an inner office network.
Yeah, and that's a LAN.
Yeah.
And VLAN is they take a bunch of switches that are all over the place in, like, they used to call them MANs too, like metropolitan area network. Everybody's hooked up to the internet now. I could make a network that's just you, that's just me, and the Rule Zero guys, right?
Right.
That's a virtual LAN, because we're not connected to the same piece of hardware. We have to set it up that way and like make hidden tunnels.
I think I know where you're going, and I want to expand on it, but keep going, please.
Yeah. So geographically, there's not enough incels in any, like in Chicago, there's not enough incels to have any kind of like incel cafe where all we sell is fucking like milk or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we sell black bitter pills, right? Mm-hmm.
But because we can now network them in like these virtual communities, they've become big enough, and everybody's already milked, soccer. Like every other community's been milked for everything. And this is like the last frontier. Those, and like I'm pretty sure femcells are coming next. Where the fuck that even means.
Because those are just pick me chicks that couldn't be picked, right?
Yeah, and that's why, like, because Dante's in the chat saying I've never met a guy who's like this, and that's right. Most people don't. You're almost you probably work with one, but he's the guy who never talks, and you stay away from him because he kind of stinks, and he just does his job. Weird. He works in infrastructure, and he goes home and comes onto his community where there's 15,000 other guys like him, and they're watching a podcast where some chick with a big set of honkers is getting yelled at by a dude that looks like, he could be me. He's the same kind of nerd I am. He's wearing a hoodie.
Exactly. And she's getting her comeuppance. Yeah, right.
Oh, you got to get comeuppance.
Well, yeah, of course, because that's the revenge porn fantasy. Okay, you brought up a good point with the networks, okay? Again, that guy going back to the internet is dead. And this was something he didn't really say it, but I kind of extrapolated it. That while on the illusory level, going back to the Potempkin village thing where it's all a fakeade, going back to Google with, we got 1.39 billion results when in reality it was 528.
Right. Okay.
So the internet as an illusion looks bigger. It's expanding, kind of like the universe itself expands.
Right.
Okay. But the reality is, if anything, the internet has shrunk. Okay. You got more bots. You have less actual genuine interaction. People, it is the red pill, or not red pill, but the red meat. It's the outrage.
Yeah, it's all being siloed into specific platforms now instead of just
and not only siloed into specific platforms, which again, using Rollo, and I forget who really originally coined the phrase, but the medium is the message. Okay. When you have a platform that everyone just takes for granted, and this is what I do. I get on Twitter, I get on YouTube, and yet it's the very platform itself that discourages discourse. It is about you yell at each other. Okay, because like with Twitter, unless you want to do, a huge fucking thread, which I'm not going to go read 17 pages of whatever bullshit you're saying. I got shit to do, man. But considering that your original tweet characters is 240, you can't have a discourse with 240 characters. So it becomes a shouting match. Okay, so the medium is the message. And then you throw into going to the VLAN. Okay. This is what I think, which is part of that illusion of the internet's huge, but in reality, it's not. We're being funneled off into certain little networks where, yes, okay, when I do my shows with Nick, when I do my shows with Jack, it's always the same guys that show up. Okay, it's always the same audience that they
flavor posters.
Yeah. Okay, which I love those guys, but very seldom is there anyone new where I'm like, well, who the hell's this? I've never seen them before. Okay. And even with your channel, it's like, yeah, you get a fuck ton of views according to YouTube, because I've seen the count that it's like, wow, Ryan was on 2 hours ago and he's already got 6,000 views. Holy shit!
Did I? Jesus Christ!
Well, I've seen that with some of your videos, because yes, I follow Ryan on YouTube. He's one of the few red pill guys I actually follow. Okay, but I see some of the views, and again, it's a video you did 2 hours ago and it's already got 3,000 views and X amount of likes, whatever. It's like, holy shit. Okay, so there are people watching Ryan's shit. That's cool. Is it the amount, is it comparable to the amount of subscribers he has? Well, only Ryan knows that, because he has access to those metrics, and I don't care. That's not the point. But it's the idea that we are being funneled off one way or another based on likes, based on what data we're giving up and it's being accumulated. We're being shuttled off into these little kind of like VLANs, these little networks, these bubbles, where, okay, you're an incel, you watch incel videos, you identify as an incel. Well, we're going to shove you in with these other supposedly 15,000, even though let's say 60% of them are bots. Mm-hmm. But there's actually 3,000 guys where you think there's this huge world of incels, that it's a thing. When in reality, no, you're actually in like a sub-network compared to the rest of the world. You're in a bubble. And not just a bubble that we talk about or hear about, oh, you're in an echo chamber. It's like, it's not quite like that. You've been funneled off without even knowing it.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part, is that you don't know.
Yeah, you don't. You just assume, because again, the Potempkin village, the fakeade, that, oh man, there's a billion incels out there.
Do you remember the movie Brazil too?
I haven't
Brazil?
seen it. No.
Okay, watch the movie Brazil, and then when you get to the ending where Robert De Niro and him, they escape from the prison, they're racing off, and you find out he's just being like brainwashed in a machine and left in a room. I'm just getting that kind of vibe. It's like the most dystopic shit ever, by the way. This is not. Anyways, whatever. I actually was curious what you were saying on this one, so I actually did look it up.
Okay.
So there's a metric, and I think it's the best one I got for this. There's a returning viewers and unique viewers.
Yep.
So I'm 20-some thousand subscribers.
Yeah.
Returning viewers is about half, 11,007. Unique viewers is 22. So yeah, about half the people that have subscribed to my channel
come back. Watch more. Right.
Is that because they just like, I only liked his one video yelling at women, I don't want to watch the mids watch? Maybe it's because they're fake people. Maybe it's because they just left YouTube. I don't know.
Right.
Then the unique ones, there's twice as many. And then of those 22,000, right now the growth is slow. Like 200 of them subscribe. So like, which is crazy when you think about it. 1, 2, 3,
but
like 0.1%
are bots, and how many of them are real? Right.
You never know, man. You never know.
Don't know. That's the Potempkin village. You don't know that, if you take it at face value, going back to that thing, I just trust what they say, even though he's a random asshole on the internet. Or I trust her because her and her husband are Mormon and they say they're pure and wholesome. And so I'll just take them at face value. Oh, wow. I got all these people showing up to watch my videos. It's like, well, how much of that is legit? You don't know, which ties back into, this is why we can seem bitter and nihilistic and cynical.
Yeah,
even though
we're accurate. That's the problem.
Well, that's it. And it's not nihilism from a bitter standpoint. It's just, if you've been around long enough, if you've lived long enough in your life, if you've done enough things over time, you do see patterns. You do see where, hey, what is old is new again type of thing. It's like, oh, we're doing this again. We're saving the West for the 15th time. Or we're doing semen retention for the 12th time. Whatever it is.
Looks, money, game. Which one's best?
Yeah, looks max, of course, Ryan. It's looks max. You got to be jacked and ripped and tall. That's how this rolls. You know how it is, man. Yeah, we're doing that again. And even I've seen, not to throw shade at anyone, but I've seen red pill content creators do that. 2 years ago, you guys did a round table about looks, game, and wealth. Which one's more important out of the three? If you can only have one or two, which one do you
game,
have?
By the way, you sons of bitches.
Thank you. That is the one that matters. Everything else is secondary. But 2 years ago, we had that conversation about which one, if you only have one or maybe two, which one do you go? It is game. Well, here we are 2 years later in 2022. Guess what? We're having that same fucking conversation again. I'm like, We had this conversation 2-3 years ago. I remember that conversation. I was there. And it's like, really? We got to go back to that again? That's how little people retain. And it's not, well, we have all these new guys. Dude, there's not that many new guys. There's just not.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, at what point is there enough new guys that it's worth to rehash the content? I don't have an answer for that. To be fair, what's old is new again. Greatest thing I ever heard. I wish I could remember. Back to your thing about the medium of the message, by the way. Everybody's trying to figure out who it is. It's Marshall McLuhan, a Canadian. Same university as Jordan Peterson. Take from that what you will.
Oh, God, you're going to get Jordan Peterson trending again. Great.
Why the fuck not? At least it'll be the good Peterson, not the other one. The one on all the pills.
Yeah, exactly. The take your pills and pet a cat. Yeah.
1,000. That was the goal, is like get 1,000 loyal followers, subscribers, customers, however you want to refer to it as.
Right.
So I like to focus on people. You're right. I don't know if anybody's real. I know Wine More Please is real. I've talked to him. I know Marty's real. I've talked to him. If you can do that with 1,000 guys, you'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Then all you have to do is make something that they enjoy. If you guys want a mug, I can make a mug. If you guys like a podcast on media savviness and red pill, exactly, shirt, a book, whatever it is you guys are into. Sometimes I just need somebody on in the background while I'm cleaning my house, in which case, Rob, I need you to ramble for 2 hours in the ASMR's voice you possibly can, sir.
I can do that for you, Ryan.
Done. Provide, it's like a dollar of value that you're giving away for 10 cents, and then 1,000 guys giving you $1. It's great. Let's make it $10. How much is it worth? I don't know. That's the negotiation. I love that, because then you don't get sucked up into this. And the reason it ties in for you guys, same thing with people. You can go and make friends with absolutely everybody, but they're fair weather friends. They're bar friends. Like, if I'm drinking, they'll drink with me. But if I want to stop drinking, they'll stop hanging with me. So why not get yourself a group of people? Plates. I got 5 girls that we can go on a date and have fun, probably smash. I'll lose one, I'll gain one, just plate theory, right? But you know what I mean? You're avoiding all of the, I almost want to call them, I want to lump this in with sexual diabetes, because it was an instinct before to trust an authority. Oh, this guy in the tribe has everybody else who likes him. That's pre-selection. I'll go for that. But with bots on the internet, that's totally fucked up that hardwiring we got. So we can't really go by that anymore. You actually have to work.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because you've been manipulated. Yes.
Yeah. And not even by a person, by an algorithm. That's the worst part. There's nobody driving the helm at the manipulation train.
We're getting into Alex Jones territory here. Holy shit. Yeah.
I wish it was. That's the thing. I don't think anybody's in charge of any of this. I think everybody's trying to do the best they can on their specific, whatever. Excuse me. I need to make a better algorithm for YouTube to make extra $100 this year or $100,000 this year. So the engineer's doing this shit because Google hired him, and the marketing guy's like, I need the numbers to look good so I look good. And the guy making YouTube channels is like, I got to yell at women because gotta make me look good. And everybody's just trying to make themselves succeed. And they created this weird,
there's no lizard people, Illuminati, New World Order bullshit.
Exactly. There's this emergent strategy that's out now that's basically fucking you over unless you develop a certain set of adaptive skills. In this case, cynicism. Fucking wonderful. Yeah, don't trust shit. Don't forget on the internet.
Don't trust anyone unless maybe you've met them in person, face to face, had a drink, had a bite to eat. That type of thing, because you were mentioned like Wine More Please and some of these other guys where you've talked to them, and I'm like, I can relate. I'm like, okay, I've met Bull Rush face to face. He's been in my house. I've met Chest Rockwell face to face. He's been in my house. Okay, Vince and TJ from Masculine Geek, they've been in my house. I've met them face to face. I've walked around with them. I've had dinner with them. I've drank drinks with them. And so I know, like, for me that, these guys are the real deal. They're not doing the brand thing. They're not, on the internet, I'm alpha male 2.0, but in real life.
Well, to be fair, in real life, Rule Zero Dad is not, what's the guy's name again? The Avi he uses? The Breakfast Club guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. God damn it. I wish he was here to point it out. James Spader.
Thank you. He's not actually James Spader. No, so I don't want to shit on, he's branding as the cynical James Spader. Right. But that's not really him. But you're like, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chest Rockwell is not James Spader. Okay. I can confirm that if anyone's, is he James Spader? No, he's not James Spader. I've met him. That's like, dude, you're not James Spader.
He's got more hair.
He actually kind of does. Yeah. you know. But it is the idea that, you know, I've met these guys, whether I said, hey, come on out and I'll you know, we'll meet up. Or they were, you know, like in Chesty's case, I know what happened there is it was me and Bullrush and a couple other guys shitting on a thread of his. We derailed it kind of like giraffes and hippos with you. You're trying to make a point. You're like, I got to be alpha male and make a point here. And all of a sudden, you know, me and Bull and a couple other guys are in there shitting up your thread and derailing it. And we did the same thing to Chest, where he's like, God, I kind of feel, you know, violated, but now I need to go to Salt Lake and see if you guys are for real. And so he drove from the Midwest. He got in his own car, brought his own.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah, brought some homebrew.
Yeah, he brought some homebrew, Butthurt Hefeweizen. He actually brought his own brew and other gifts and actually showed up at my doorstep because he was like, I got to see if you guys are really real or if you're full of shit. And he realized, no, you guys are real. Okay.
Dude, that's such a Gen X thing. Like, talking shit. Well, let's start a kegger. Let's see how man you really are.
and that's what it was. I was like, I'm your Huckleberry. Bring that shit on. I got nothing to hide. I have nothing to lose. I don't need to pivot or rebrand. I'm fine. You know, so come to my house. Fuck it. I'll show you what's up.
Yeah,
and
I watched
he did. He called me out on it. He showed up.
Yeah, worked out.
Yeah,
I love it though, because it applies in everything. Like the guys with Tinder, they're always talking about how bitches are entitled now. It's like, yeah, I can't believe all there are is about looks. Well, if you're on a platform that only shows your picture and you're surprised that women are judging you only based on your looks, it's like, what did you think they were going to do? This guy looks like he has a wonderful set of hobbies. I bet you he does tabletop gaming. I'd love to suck his dick. No. All they show you is a picture, 3 lines of text, your height and your weight and your income or whatever. And they're like, all these bitches want are tall. Yeah,
and
6'6".
geographic location. Yeah.
It's like, what's all you led with? It's like that African tribe, you know, the one that just sits there with the smile and whoever's got the nicest teeth gets the princess.
Right.
Imagine those guys bitching. All these bitches want is like fucking teeth. It's bullshit.
Yeah, my teeth aren't white and straight. Fuck this. I'm gonna go be an incel.
Yeah, and I'm not denigrating the swiping on Tinder and shit, because like whatever, you got to use it. It's like a passive activity. But yeah, go talk to somebody, and then you'll find carrying a sentence or conversation or being more interesting or being the only guy who doesn't put up with her shit could be like an amazing attractor quality, but you don't know that because all you've been doing is listening to guys bitch about robots online.
Exactly. Well, and it goes back to the medium as the message. When all it is you have a picture, you have a location, you have stats for your height and weight. Of course, it looks like, well, that's all that matters. Well, yeah, because that's what that platform caters to. That's what they do. Yeah. And so looks max matters when you're on Tinder. But
solely on Tinder.
Yeah, solely. But when you go out in the real world, you decide to get off the internet, go outside and touch fucking grass. And you realize, oh, hey, one, the women didn't get the memo that I need to hate men. That's only on the internet. The women in the real life never got the memo that there's a gender war. They didn't get it because none of mine ever did. They like guys. They're like, hey, and they don't care about your height. They don't care about your looks type of thing. Not nearly as much as you think they do. So
that's why I always laughed about that. There was some pickup artist. He was actually I liked him. I can't remember which one it was. He was talking about dating girls over 6'4", being shorter than, right? And he was trying to tell it like, yeah, so I got to bring it up in a way that shows that I'm not like insecure about it. And Fort Worth Playboy, love the guy.
Yeah.
He and I, same thing. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up about it. Don't bring it up. Don't talk about it. Don't make a joke about it.
Not an issue.
Yeah. First off, yeah, every guy who's insecure about it has brought it up with her. So from just experience alone, she knows as soon as you bring up, oh, I guess we can't wear heels, she's like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
I got a beta male.
Yeah, I got a beta male. I got a guy that's hung up on height. It's an issue. And then it becomes an issue for her.
Yeah, and I'm hearing Fort Worth talk about it. And then in my life, I've had, like, the tallest girl I had was 6'5".
And you said it was a logistics thing, which I'm like, actually, that makes sense. I can see where that could be a problem.
Yeah.
But you're coming at it not from oh my God, looks max and blah, blah, blah. You're like, actually, she was pretty hot and she was down to bang. But man, putting A into B.
I didn't even want to. That was the worst part. My buddy Dave wanted to. And we were in Dubai, and he's like, oh, I love that chick. And I'm like, you know what? This guy's been a prick to me. And that was the only reason. I was perfectly happy just to get drunk and enjoy myself. But he had to go wanting something.
Fuck Dave. I'll show him.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh man. But the fact that, because I remember the story, because I've read it, where you're just like, yeah, she was, super tall and this and that. And then you're just like, but the logistics, and I'm just like, oh shit. Oh,
well, it's like you've sat in a
there.
chair. You ever sat in one of them chairs that are supposed to be good for your back, but it just like kills your legs, fall asleep after a while? Like you have to do it in that weird position. It's like that versus a normal chair. That's the best way I can describe it.
Oh, you're not wrong, dude. I get it. That's where when you started talking about the logistics, I'm just like, oh shit, yep. There is a height limitation just because of logistics. It's not because of insecurities. It's just like, yeah, that's just not gonna work.
Yeah, but I mean, you know that though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it. You've experienced it. So
I
I think that's the
totally
way out of this. It's where you got the idiots running their mouth, algorithm wisdom. And if you don't try anything yourself, you're never going to be able to tell the difference.
Yep,
So you kind of have to
you'll
try
never know.
things.
Yep.
And I would suggest, start small. Talk to a girl. And then you're going to find out they're not like the ones you see online. Talk to 5 girls. Oh, wow, they're all like this. And none of them are ones like online. Maybe you'll want to run one crazy and you're like, okay, so there's some. And then you sleep with one. And you realize, okay, so it's not the problems these guys are talking about. And then you slowly build yourself up a like codex of knowledge of like, whammon ain't shit. Oh, turns out that whammon are just whammon. And this ain't shit thing is just dancing for clowns and algorithm wisdom. And
or if they're a quality woman, that's another, it's the same whammon ain't shit. It's like, no, there's no such thing as a quality woman, woman. There's just women, Sometimes they behave better than others. Sometimes they behave worse. That's all.
That's just it. That's a snapshot assessment too. Like she was such a bitch today to you. I bet you anything. Some other guy's like, this is the sweetest woman. She could be the mother of our kids. It's all these guys taking snapshot assessments and making them core identities. Oh, it just makes no sense.
That's which it ties into green lines and don't lean in. It's a snapshot. Or are they banging when Rollo was making kind of fun of that shit? And I see all the experts, the armchair experts. Oh, they're definitely banging because her body language and her outfit and the way he's sitting, and others are saying the exact opposite. And I even did a post on that where I'm like, the truth is nobody knows except for that couple. Yeah. And unless you walked up to them and literally said, excuse me, ma'am, sir, are you guys banging? You don't know because it's a snapshot of a snapshot. You don't know.
Ratting yourself out.
Yeah, if anything, all you're doing is showing your naivety, your lack of experience, because you're making judgments based on one photo of one moment in time. You don't know what the fucking story is. And so, but all the armchair experts, oh yeah, they're definitely banging.
The best part about this reference too? The best part about this reference is it's a perfect example of what we've just been talking about. Like, do you know where this kind of stuff started? It was the old pickup artist days. It was a routine called Us Versus the World, like a rapport building thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And so what you do is you'd be on a date with a girl or you'd hit on her at the bar or whatever. And then what you would do to make yourselves seem like you're closer is you start people watching. It's like, oh, do you see that couple over there? Do you think they're banging? Oh, it's doesn't matter if it's true. Doesn't matter if it's not true. The fact that you two are sitting there gossiping about somebody, it's somebody who's right there. So you both have a shared experience. It's your own thing. And oh, wow, this guy and I were so close. We just get each other. And then it went from there. And then somebody was like, oh, I'm going to put green lines now as like ways you can tell. And it's just escalating and escalating. 6-year-olds chase the soccer ball until the one 6-year-old takes to this stupid retarded direction. And then they chase that 6-year-old. And now you're in this situation like, are they fucking.com? Let me just assess the spreadsheet here. Shake the magic 8 ball. Of course, it's got a D107 inside of it because the D4 that they used to use in the magic 8 ball is just too limiting.
That's right. It's too beta.
Yeah. You end up with guys just jerking off about not jerking off. Are these people fucking? I can tell because she did 3 IOIs and 7 thises and it just missed the point.
She's wearing this dress and she crossed her arms and her legs, and yeah, it's like, okay, you fucking idiots. All right, whatever.
And some software algorithm somewhere is like, oh, this shit is fucking golden. Let's make it. Let's run with it. Go.
Yeah.
18 other bots are like, all right, we're following. We got it. And then some asshole's like, where's the girls? And he follows into this thing. Oh. He's basically in the Matrix. He's being thrown into one of them little fucking pods because the robots need batteries or monetization or whatever. I don't even know what the robots want in this analogy. It's kind of retarded already, but whatever.
They want you to stick around longer. That's what it is. Think about YouTube. Why, you watch one of Ryan's chick talks, and all of a sudden you get all these recommends from black pill guys that shit on women too.
Oh, is that what you get? I've always wondered.
Dude, no, seriously. Anytime I get recommendations from YouTube,
yeah, it
is an algorithm thing. Okay. Because I only subscribe to like 10 fucking channels. Okay. Yours is the only red pill one that I subscribe to. You and Jack. Okay. Because Jack's my boy.
Jack.
Yeah. Well, I know he was here and he's butthurt right now because I'm cheating with you, apparently. Okay. So there's that.
It's soft swinging, Jack.
It is.
Don't worry about it.
There's no penetration here. We're good, dude. I still love you, bro. All right. So you're like the two guys I subscribe to in the red pill. Everything else is like video editing, or it's music, guys playing guitar, or it's bands, things like that. Right. That's what because I don't want to sit around and watch a whole fuck ton of guys bitching about whammon ain't shit. I've already seen it. It's like, yeah, whatever, I'm out. Okay. But if I, click on something, oh, hey, this is about, the Big Bang. It's about the beginning of the universe. And I watch half or more. I watch the whole thing. All of a sudden, my recommend is all this stuff on the origin of the universe. It's all astronomy. It's all these different things start showing up because it's YouTube going, oh, you stuck around, you watched the video, or you watched a big chunk of it. Let me give you more of that. Just like, oh, you watch a video of whammon ain't shit, fuck whammon. Let's hold them accountable because they're drunk and they're stupid. And you watched it because it was entertaining. You got a chuckle out of it. You're like, oh, that was kind of funny. Now, all of a sudden, you get Better Bachelor and some of these other dudes, that are serious, so to speak, about their topic. And, well, hey, if you liked this, you'll like this guy. Because I've seen that happen. Where I used to be subscribed to some other red pill guys. Yeah. And I would get all this black pill shit. And I'm just like, where the fuck is this coming from? So I started eliminating subscriptions. I was like, let's cut a few people out because I'm not watching. So fuck it. And all of a sudden, all that black pill shit went away. And it's like, oh, huh. It's because of the content that, oh, well, this guy's shitting on women for the lulz, that it's all tongue in cheek. It's all, I still like women, but God, they're goofy fuckers. They're not Lilith. They're just the most responsible teenager in the house. But then you get the guy that, no, they're Lilith, destroyer of worlds,
Yeah. And talk about hyperbole, huh? She's not just a bitch. No, she's the evilest bitch ever.
That's right. She's the destroyer of everything. She's evil with a capital E. But I've noticed that because, again, experimenting, playing around with my YouTube channel, because I do like my YouTube channel, but I don't want to see a bunch of shit that's not relevant. And so, I eliminate this one guy, and all of a sudden, 80% of the black pill shit goes away.
Interesting.
And
I want to hear names, maybe offline, but I want to hear names.
Yeah, definitely offline. I'm not going to do that online. But and I know it's not because that particular creator was like intentionally doing black pill shit. It's like, no, he's not. But
he's just black pill adjacent. But tapping into the resource.
He's touching on it enough that it brings up the black pill shit. And so certain guys had to go. That I'm like, oh, you're close enough based on what you said, based on the popularity of this video, that video, the other video. It brought up all this crap that I don't want to see. And
all right,
so
you got me curious now on stats. I was looking this up, my latest Chick Talks, what recommends it? Surprisingly, 90% of it is like the Rule Zero guys. It's from a Rich video or a Rolo video or for whatever. But I'm noticing 33 Secrets has gone full black pill. Alpha female dumps 3 good men in her 20s to find a Chad and is now single at 35. Fuck. You know, on LinkedIn, when you had to do a resume and you took all their keywords, you put them in like white text with 2-point font at the very bottom so you could pass through the algorithms.
Right. Yeah, you're cheating in a way, but
this is the video version of that.
Yeah. And that's it. That's all it is. And that's going back to where you said nobody's driving the bus. Okay, yeah. That's why I know, because, dude, you were in the military, so you understand government. Okay?
Oh, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but in a way it's fortunate because you understand because you've been a part of it, okay? There's nobody driving the bus, okay? Most government workers are the laziest people you'll ever meet. It's not a judgment. It's a fact,
It's designed that way.
Yeah,
Hard work. Yeah, they cut down the tall trees in government work.
Right. It's not like private sector where there's incentives to be a good performer, to do the work.
No, your coworkers will literally tell you to slow the fuck down. You're making everybody look bad.
Dude, yeah, there's no literal. That is exactly what happens because I've done government work before.
I've been told this before.
Yeah, I have. They've been like, dude, you're making us look bad. Slow the fuck down. Okay, I've had that exact conversation in the past. Okay, so there's no incentive to perform. There's no incentive to to excel. And so when I see all these guys talking about New World Order and cabal and lizard people, and there's this conspiracy. There's these puppet masters behind pulling the strings, and it's a shadow government and all this shit. And I'm like, no, it isn't. This is because either everybody's a mastermind or they're inept. And my experience with government, and I'm very familiar with government, is it's inept. It's like, no, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. And there's so much paperwork that goes between the two of them that shit gets lost in the cracks. And everybody's lazy.
And nobody gets fired for following policy, even if it makes no sense.
Correct. That, yeah, you want a job that you literally cannot get fired from, go work for the government. Okay. You're in, and that's why it attracts the most incompetent people. Because it's job security. Once you're in, you literally cannot be fired. You have to do something pretty egregious. You got to be banging kids or something in order to get fired.
And even then, you got to one of the manager's kids.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get it close to home to get fired. Otherwise, you're not going to get fired. They might move you around, put you in a different department, get you to up and relocate to somewhere else physically.
They might promote you.
They might.
Have you seen? If you guys don't know this, it's a common trope in the military. It happens so much. You get a thud fuck, an absolute thud fuck, and they want to get rid of him, but nobody wants to take him. So what you do is you promote him. Then he has to be moved to a different unit.
Yep.
And that's how you end up with complete assholes who don't know anything. They're head from their ass in senior positions, and then the guys above him tend to know, so you kind of just work around them. It's a secret. They don't want to tell you about this.
Well, it's shit floats to the top. Okay. If you're inept and they can't fire you because of policies and laws and everything else, they promote you. And even in the private sector, that's how it goes. The guys that are, not necessarily the CEOs, even though I've seen a few of them too, but your high level managers, your top guys, your branch manager, the regional manager, they're the most inept people ever. They're just fucking idiots. Okay, but they couldn't fire them because they weren't that incompetent. But so it's, what do we do with this piece of shit? Well, promote them. Put them up to get them out of here. Get them out of the guys, the boots on the ground. Get them out of that guy's hair, because all that guy's doing is agitating all those guys, and they're quitting. So get him out of there. Move him away from those guys. Give him a promotion. Give him a salary. Give him a raise.
He will follow policy 100% because he doesn't know anything else but how to read.
There you go. Exactly. He barely knows how to do that, but he can look at emails all day, and it's damage control, because otherwise he's agitating the guys on the ground, and that's the guys we need there, because if we don't have them, then the work doesn't get done. Okay. Government's no different. And that's where it's human nature. It's that human nature question. That's why when I see, the Pat Stedmans and all these guys go off about the Illuminati and QAnon and all this other bullshit, and I'm like, there's no grand conspiracy. There's no cabal. This is inept, is what this is. This is nobody's driving the bus.
That would make me feel better, to be honest with you. I would love it if there was an evil mastermind conspiracy of a certain religious sect.
Pointed out, yeah, you could, but there is none. There's nobody driving the bus. Yeah. That's what's going on, which is where I get cynical, because it's like, dude, nobody's driving the bus. We're all just hanging on, going, oh, there's somebody driving. No, the bus there's no driver, guys. So. If the traffic light up ahead, you're expecting the bus driver to hit the brakes, well, it may or may not happen. You better brace for impact, And
the weird thing too is that's kind of what got us to this point. Like, we have iPhones now. We used to be sustenance farmers. Now we have iPhones, and that's the same process of bobbleheading our way through life, just for some reason as the right mix to somehow get there. I don't understand it. I don't get it, but whatever. We're here where we're at. At this point, I think I'm making the case that we got to start doing wham ain't shit videos like 33 secrets whose dick riding off of my shuff with his fucking Steve Harvey clips.
Dude, you know what? If you started, and I know this would work, if you actually started doing videos where you were calling out other content creators for fucking coat writing you, calling them out, dude, your fucking stats would go through the roof.
I'll call the series Up the Flagpole or something.
Yeah, there you go. Here's my next, set of playlist. It's Up the Flagpole. Today we're gonna call out 33 secrets. Today we're calling out Better Bachelor. Today we're calling out, Vampire Frog Guy, whatever. Because
a postpartum of Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, but
he thinks he invented a gray suit. I wore that to work in 2010. That fucking thief.
Here's the receipts.
Here's the receipts.
Oh, dude, you know what? But your engagement would go through the roof because everybody wants their cake and their circuses and their bread and circuses shit. They don't want to actually learn anything. They just want to be entertained.
Well, I mean, your middle manager got into that position because he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You're stressed out all the time. You can't get anything done. You just want to come home and watch some people yell at chesty women and moron guys and fight and throw a chair at Jerry Springer. Just let me have my Bud Light at 7 in the fucking morning, Rob.
I'm aware, but we're not going to say it because that organization has not paid me to endorse their products. So
sponsorships are available, sir.
That's right. You pay me, I will fucking endorse your product, like my Nick August. Everybody's grandmother undressed for sailors.
Yeah.
I will endorse your product. Like I said to you earlier, Ryan, I'm still waiting for the bottle to show up. Otherwise, I'd have been drinking my beer out of your bottle.
Dude, let me know what you think, though. I always love hearing it. Whenever a guy orders something, I ask him. It's like, dude, put a thing on social media if you can. Let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, I especially want to hear about it because at the very least, I would hate for somebody to buy, like even with the book. I remember we were talking about that before where like most people don't read it. They just buy it because it's merch.
Yeah.
But I would still, if you didn't like it, I want to hear.
Yeah, no. The only thing, and I know I told you because you even said, oh yeah, that was a thing, is that like there's a chapter number at least that was missing. I'm like, dude, there's like chapter 12 and then it goes to 14. What happened to 13?
Yeah.
That was the one thing, but you knew about it and you explained it. And I was like, oh, okay. Basically it's a typo. It's like, okay, that makes sense. But the grammar.
The fact that after a year, you were the only person who mentioned that.
Jesus. Because I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. Either this is a typo or there's like a whole fucking chapter that didn't make it into the book. And I need to know. And that's why I had to reach out. I'm like, dude, what happened to this chapter? Oh, yeah, that was this. Oh, okay.
Dude, that's brilliant. I should do that.
Yeah.
The 13th chapter, which you don't want to know. And it's just some wham ain't shit screed. My first date with a robot sex doll.
Yeah, a waifu pillow. Yep.
Yeah. It was a cold day in the Pacific Ocean. I had no choice.
Don't judge me.
Yeah. YouTube wasn't big back then. Nobody told me about retention, so I had to release. Yar.
Yar.
Gave me the strength to fight pirates in the Somalian coast. Knife in my mouth, diving in like a World War II recruitment poster. References to Harry Potter, left, right, and center.
Oh, God. Well, Harry Potter and fascism,
Same thing. She's the chick's a TERF. She might as well be Hitler at this point because she's not a fan of the Pride Parade.
Turf. And I know what it means, but I'm actually kind of sad that I know because the boomer in me is like, I shouldn't know what that fucking means. I should be like, Ryan, wait, full stop. What's a turf?
Dude, it took me forever to even know what it stood for. I just thought it was like a catchy term. Like pubs. I didn't know pub was short for public house. So I'm like, it's just called a pub. It's like that. Except for pubs took like 35 years for me to learn what it stood for.
Well, that's kind of like me and turf. It took me like 4 years because I remember a few years back hearing it. And I was like, turf, when I think turf, I think TURF. And I'm thinking, is this like AstroTurf? Are we talking football or something? The fuck?
Yeah, Ryan with the sports ball references makes perfect sense.
Well, dude, even the first time you said ma, the, middle-aged white woman, I was like,
oh, yeah.
the fuck is he going on about? You kids in your fucking jargon, I don't get it. You know, but I'm like, wait a minute, you're not that much younger than me, so I should be able to be internet savvy. And so I had to go Google it. And I got 1.39 billion results for Ma. And after I went through all the pages, there was only 12. So I figured it out.
Fair enough. To be fair, it's my one, like, you know how Troy has his I love the black pill stuff in the same way that you like telenovelas and dramas?
Yeah.
Watching TERFs and the trans community fight. Like, you guys have been throwing men under the bus, video games cause cancer shit for like 10 years, and now they're having some infighting, and I'm just like, thank God. And they're trying to, and both sides are trying to recruit cis white males to the side. I'm like, oh, we can't have both ways.
We need allies. Sorry, no, sir, ma'am. Assume your gender. That's not going to happen here.
Yeah, no, you wanted the corporate job. You have it. Am I basically looking at the same red meat that I told you guys sucked about the red pill? Yes, but it's different because I'm doing it. If I'm not a hypocrite, then nobody's a hypocrite.
There you go, dude. That sums it up beautifully too. No shit.
All right, so we're gonna do your bathroom break. We'll wait till you get back, and then we'll do the wrapping up here. I think that's about it. I think so. Everything you guys wanted to know about Mormon swinger TikTok, I think you've been dutifully involved in the wisdom, whatever. I wish there was more to it. To be fair, they got like their 15 minutes of fame. They're in the New York Times or New York Post with an article. Chicks are loving it because they're like, yeah, what did the one quote on here? One user commented in a clip, I have no idea who any of these people are. This drama made me realize how truly nosy I am. So yeah, we're actually on topic for being on topic. It's just chicks love drama. The algorithms are designed, well, they're not designed, but they have the after effect that the drama, hyperbole, and the 6-year-olds playing soccer. Whoever kicks that ball out furthest gets the most attention, so everybody just keeps chasing it, and you just got to keep your head on a swivel. Assume everybody's a lying asshole. In fact, if you see somebody saying something as if it's true, assume it's the opposite. And how many examples do you need? The vaccine is safe. Now Justin Bieber's face is all messed up. That's what they took from us Canadians. Guys talking about, I'm the traditional conservative second coming of Christ. Then what's he do? He writes a cuck article. What's the other one? Adam. Oh yeah, Adam and I were talking on his podcast, and he was like, he was trying so hard not to name names. I could tell he just wanted to shit all over a lot of big name people, like not Tim Pool, but like that sphere. Everywhere. Well, everywhere. It's not just here. It's not just mom talk. It's everywhere.
Yeah, you kind of brought it up because, and I kind of have an idea of who you were referencing. Because you said, I just wish for the day that I get big enough where I can just sit around and read the news bylines type of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, content creators that's ultimately what they ended up doing. They started out being genuine or sincere and
doing Vice articles about doing drugs in foreign countries, hard-hitting journalistic integrity.
Yeah, but then they went on, they got clout and all that because they chased all that shit, the metrics, they got the views, they got the subscribers, they got the monetization. They went with the program of we got to keep the outrage going or whatever it is, the next trending thing. And they've become news commentators, basically. Oh, well, hey, guys, what are we going to do today? I mean, there's a few channels I've seen in the past where literally the red meat for the guy, it writes itself. All he did is spend an hour.
Oh, that's Jeremy. Yeah, he always does that on Twitter. Hey, what should I talk about today? And then they give him topics and he just rants about it.
Right. Well, and like I said, there's been YouTube guys that I'm like, dude, all this guy's video is he went out, he found some article on Washington Post or BuzzFeed or something, and all he does is spends the next hour shitting on it. That's all it is. It's just his own personal commentation. It's his personal commentary about, women got their comeuppance or, here's one where, he divorce raped her. The fucking bitch deserved it. Whatever.
Where do you think I got the idea for Chick Talk?
Yeah. Okay, but it's that whole thing where I'm like, wow, you know, you weren't wrong when it's like, yeah, how do you know you've made it big, kids, when you can just comment, you know, you're doing your own commentary on fucking blog posts. And it's like, Jesus, because I'm not going to call it news because it's not news.
No,
it's just, oh, well, here's this blog post. You know, it's that whole trust me, I'm lying thing. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Jesus, you know, it's the truth. That it's like, holy shit, this is how it is. And if you don't develop a certain amount of cynicism for it, dude, you're NGMI. You're not going to make it. You know,
I think that's one of the truly not going to make it things. Like, it's not just a meme in that case. You're right, because you'll buy anything.
Exactly.
And if each step is like a small step towards crazy, and you don't realize it because every step is reasonable until you're at the end, and then you're crazy, and then you buy into nonsense.
Yep.
Every now and then there's a purge, like the whole Trump truthers, they got purged, and all Pat Stedman, but, you know, by then it's too late.
I was just going to say, well, then you go and pull a January 6th, you know, and guys like you are going, dude, hey, you know, yeah, we may not see eye to eye, but do you really want to fuck up your life? Well, yeah, I guess you do, because there you go. You're going off and being a patriot.
Maybe don't live stream breaking a law.
Yeah, don't live stream storming the Bastille. You know, maybe that's something you should just keep on the down low. But he's got his own little cheer section that's like, yeah, go, bro, freedom, liberty, and QAnon. And it's like, oh, God.
And how funny is that? They're having like my freedom, liberty, go America, the guy who's expatriating to Poland next week. Like,
right.
It's like taking relationship advice from Jack Murphy, the divorced cuck guy.
Oh, God.
Which,
no shit.
Whatever, do what you want. I'm just saying, if you're going to follow him for what he does.
Yep, fill your boots.
Yeah, the mom talkers should have been following Jack Murphy, because he could have, look, just don't write any articles and you're fine. Just do what you do. Paint a nail black, grow a fucking beard, dye the two sides gray, and you'll be fine, sir.
Well,
really?
I think it was Ricky Gervais, the comedian, that said it. You know, women, you know, those are fucking dinosaurs. We like our new women, you know, with beards and cocks. You know, like, no shit. You know, that's the thing, guys. It's like, don't eat paint. You know, don't vet your guru, whatever buzz phrase you want to call it. You know, realize we're just random assholes on the internet spousing our own personal opinions, and it's nothing more. Develop a healthy cynicism. You know, develop a, you know, fuck you. I don't know if that's true. It sounds like bullshit to me. Because otherwise, like Ryan, who introduced me to thelastpsychiatrist.com, if you're watching it or reading it, it's for you.
Yeah. Ugh. All right, let's pitch some Rob shit here and then cancel it, because I got to go. Rule 0 is John's channel, and we're going to shit on America. Woot! Fat Florida bitches.
That's right. Fat Florida entitled princesses, motherfuckers. It's more.
Look at this Tinder account, you fat fuck. Whatever. I could do that for 2 hours, I guess. So yeah, give us some Rob shit. Let's move some of the real people on here to the real people on there.
There you go. Well, guys, you can find me at robsays.net. HTTP. There's no S. There's no secure, because
really,
don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. That doesn't matter. It is secure, but when I bought the name, I didn't pay the extra because I'm a cheap fucker and I don't care.
Dude, my cross-site scripting.
There you go. That's it. There's my address. That's everything me. If you know, my YouTube links are in there, my fucking Instagram, all the bullshit that I kind of do or don't do, the blog, it's all there. So
good enough. All right, guys. Goodbye. Oh, wait. Let me just leave you. I'll leave you with something.
We know that these videos really prey on vulnerable young men who have not had many experiences in dating.